Microphone checkup. Welcome to episode 33, the 33rd episode of the film wrap up. I'm one of your hosts, like always. I'm the film fiend himself. I'm with the homie.
It's the rap nerd. Was good, film.
Not much, man. This one is gonna be a little different. I feel like a broken record because I say it's like every start of the show, but this one
You
really
do.
is though. This one really is though because we're not reviewing a particular film or two. We're doing a nice little, midway recap of all the films. Not let's not say all the films because we ain't watch all the films, but the films we watched, and we're gonna be dropping the top 10 list
Yes,
as of right
sir.
now, and also films that we're most interested for the upcoming up year. And listen, man, these 6 months have been amazing for me. I don't know about you, but
Mhm.
I don't know what happened, but they came out with a bang, and I'm feasting right now, bro. So my list. I had to do 10 and I finally got it to 10, bro. But I had like a ridiculous amount of possibilities to go in my top 10. But you might be there's a little surprises there, but yep, that's pretty much it. So to start off, I guess if you want, you could recap some films that we didn't talk about throughout the years that, or we could just go straight to the top 10. How you feeling?
Let's go straight to the top 10, and then afterwards we can kind of give the other ones that
Bet.
didn't make it. Cause like you, I
Mm,
think I had like 17 films that I've enjoyed so
yeah,
far. So, like, yeah. So we can just do top 10, and then boom onto the other ones.
I bet. So with that being said, let's get straight to it. Our top
Let's
10
go.
list so far of 2022. And you know what? I started off with number 10, and
Okay, let's go. Okay.
yeah, it's nothing crazy though. Not even sure if you've seen this one yet, but it's called The Adam Project. It's with
Hmm.
Ryan Reynolds, and it's directed by Sean Levy, who also directed Free Guy, which was a little overblown in my opinion. Free Guy was a cute movie. I liked it. It was enjoyable. But the Adam Project though, I felt like he upped his game. That chemistry between him and Ryan Reynolds was on 10. The action was amazing, and the concept too. I really dug the concept. It was
Hmm.
like it's sci-fi. It's a sci-fi action film, and let me tell you a little more about it. It's a sci-fi action film where he's in the distant future, and he he escapes because the organization that he's running with is corrupt, and he time shoots into the past, and he meets his younger self, and he has to go on this adventure with his younger self while also trying to save his dad that died, his wife that died, all these crazy
Hmm.
concepts as well. But yeah, but the premise is dope though, because the kid they have playing Ryan Reynolds, Ryan Reynolds, he has a particular style and he does not switch it up in any movie, in any role. And this little kid, he was actually able to mimic like a younger Ryan Reynolds, and it was dope too. So I love that concept,
Hmm.
and why it's number 10 so far for me is because it wasn't just fun, action, explosions, and stuff like that. In other words, I'm saying it wasn't just a typical Michael Bay movie or anything like that. It was it had some heart to it. So like they really went to the the father aspect because like I said, like his father died and stuff like that. His father's played by Mark Ruffalo, by the way. The Hulk,
Okay.
or lack of it. My fault. Excuse me. Damn, MCU slander within 5-10 minutes of the show.
He said
Um,
it, not me. I.
that's not gonna bode well. But anyways, yeah, played by the pops and stuff like that, and I really loved how it wasn't just action. There, like I love when they weaves the little drama family dynamic as well, and also Levi, whatever his name is. He's directing the Deadpool 3, which I'm so about it, bro. I'm gonna be honest. I know this is not even coming out this year, and I'm talking about it, but I'm bringing him up since he's the director of this movie, and also he directed the first half or majority of the first half, a Stranger Things Part 1, and obviously he's gonna do Part 2 as well. So he was the
Okay.
mastermind as far as directing and stuff like that. So he's having one hell of a
Well,
year, man.
damn.
Exactly. So
Okay.
yep, that was my number 10.
All right. You know what's funny? I just I just got my Netflix back
Hmm.
last month. Because one thing I'm figuring out with Netflix is they drop
I
all
know
their
where you're
hottest
going.
shit.
Yep.
They drop all of their hottest shit the last 6 months of the year. Like once um where the Memorial Day weekend starts. From that point on is when they just
Yep.
drop all of their heat. So learning that, I just now got it back, and didn't that movie drop in like April? Was it April? Or was it the beginning of May?
No, it was around. I want to say April. Yeah, because
April.
no.
Okay.
It came out before that. I think March.
March.
Yeah, because hold on, let me make sure before I give you false information. The project. It came out in. Come on, IMDb, don't fail me now. Yeah, March 11th.
Oh, okay, cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I kind of passed on it because, well, for one, I didn't have Netflix, and I didn't want to go the dark route of watching the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But it looked a lot like it's a Free Guy, and I feel the same way you felt. Like I thought it was a fun movie. It was cute, but it was just overblown. And when I watched it, I was like, it was cute. But
Right.
hearing that it's in your top 10, I'm gonna watch that this weekend because I didn't expect that to be number 10, honestly.
Yeah,
And that says a lot.
Yeah, coming from me too. But I really enjoyed it, man. And I can see you finding something enjoyable. You might not like it as much as I do, but I don't think you'll feel like it was a waste of time. But that is though, because certain people, Ryan Reynolds, he has that certain personality. Like if
Mhm.
he could be a little overbearing, so I will give you heads up. He is Ryan Reynolds in this film, which is no surprise to anybody. So if you
Yeah,
don't mess with Ryan Reynolds, then you might not like it
because that's the part I knew about because like you even recognize that Ryan Reynolds is a particular he's himself the whole time. So for
every
you
single
to
time.
and I feel the exact same way so you to know that and
Mm-hmm.
watch the movie and still enjoy it and say that it was better than the other one. Like yeah, so I'm gonna watch that this week.
Yep.
Give me another reason to use my Netflix up.
You might as well.
Uh, yeah, I mean, like I said, they got some heat coming, man. Stranger Things next month, and
Bro, I
then
cannot wait. Damn.
we'll get to that
We
later,
might
man. We'll get to that later.
we might have to do a special video podcast just for that.
Yeah, like when the next season when it drops next week,
Yep.
I'm down for that because there's a lot of shit to talk about with that.
I
But
agree.
all right, so for my number 10, it's a movie. Shudder is funny because they'll say Shudder exclusive, but it's not really funded by them. So, but it says Shudder exclusive. This movie called
Okay.
Hellbender. That's my number 10. And
I saw your review.
yeah, I mean, ridiculously shot, and it was on a shoestring budget, but they just made everything work so well. Um, it's about this mom and daughter who move out to the woods because the daughter supposedly has this disease that can harm other people. So they live isolated. They lived isolated their whole lives. So the girl, it's like she's finally growing up. She's like a teenager. So this is a coming of age story. And
Mm-hmm.
walking through the woods one day, she actually stumbles across, another girl that she finds cool, and she hangs out with her, one time, and they hang out again, and she starts to realize things about herself that aren't actually true what her mom is saying.
Mm-hmm.
And to add a little bit of spice in there, her mom is a witch, straight up. Like her mom is a witch from like what is it? Was it 19th century or something like that? So she's lived this
Like
whole time.
Salem Lots type of
Almost,
witch.
yeah. Yeah,
Got you.
she's like a witch like that. So
Ooh.
if you can read between the lines with that, like there's some really dope shit that they do with this movie, man. Like I don't want to spoil it at all because if you go and watch it, like I said, they do some very interesting things like that I've never even heard about as far as like the lore of being of witches and the kind of, even down to like the kind of things that they eat. Like it's something I've never
Right.
seen. Like they eat certain things to make certain things happen within themselves. So just seeing that was dope. And again, cinematography is like so damn good. Simple shots, just like a bird's eye view of a white plate on a wooden table is. And the contents on the plate are set up a certain way just to look appeasing to the eye. I guess it's the small tricks like that I really enjoyed about the movie. So like, yeah, that's my number 10 right there.
Okay. And you said it's called Hellbound?
Hellbender.
Hellbender, okay. All right. So I might have to check that out because I did watch your review on it, and I was intrigued. I was intrigued, but the only reason I don't watch those is because I don't have Shutter, and I try to go the legal route. Sometimes I got to make do with what I got, man. But anyways,
I mean, we all do. You see these inflation prices, my dude? Like,
bruh, and every
it don't make sense.
Netflix alone, man, the subscription is over $20, dog. So I cut cable for a reason.
Facts.
Number 9. I don't. It might surprise some people, but I doubt it's gonna surprise you that I have it this low because I know some people probably got it high. But number 9 is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. That's my number. That's my number 9 film, bro. And no cap.
I'm surprised you have it on here in general. I'm surprised you have it on here.
No, I didn't hate it. Remember, I gave it like 4 out of 5 stars. I just had I had some critiques with it, but yeah, it made my. Listen, it only made it, to be honest, because the Wanda was just amazing, bro. Absolutely amazing. And you know what? I do like Doctor Strange portrayal too, especially after the Doctor Strange we got in No Way Home. So it felt like he redeemed himself a bit. But yeah, man, I loved how the MCU was willing. They took a chance with one of their most popular characters and they made them evil. Like Wanda, everybody loves Wanda, and how they were going with WandaVision, you thought she was gonna get a redeeming arc, but no, they went full big bad, and not just that. In my opinion, she's probably the stuff that she does here is probably worse than most of the MCU villains that we got to date, man. Right? There's no redeeming arc, but yeah, I enjoyed it. Issues aside, I enjoyed it. Like seeing spoiler alert, the character that's playing Doctor Fantastic, Mr. Fantastic, and Reed Richards and stuff like that. I love the little cameos that we fans have been craving for the longest. But I enjoyed it. It was a first attempt for the MCU to make a horror film, and it's, to be honest, I gotta be careful with my words here, but with the MCU, they don't really do different genres. It's the MCU is the MCU, but this is one of the first films that I could say feels like a legit different genre than their typical action film. Like people say Ant-Man is a heist. I believe they called it a heist movie, but
some bullshit. Right.
But in the hearts, everybody knows it's an MCU film. Like the color grading, the jokes, like the familiar story beats. It's an MCU film. Here, the story beats are completely different. There's a legit, like, certain things that happen in this film is stuff that you would see in a horror film, and that's all due to Sam Raimi, because he's a very stylistic type of director. Like he puts his imprint on anything he touches. Like Drag Me to Hell, bro. Oh my god, that's one of the wildest experiences I've ever seen, bro. Absolutely insane. So to see him like you see Wanda contorting her body out of what is it, a mirror or whatever that was, bro. I'm like, come on now. Like, you don't see, not even an MCU film, you don't see that in a comic book movie, period, nowadays. So yeah, I got to give credit where credit is due. I did find this enjoyable, and to me, it had some of the best epic moments that we've gotten in the MCU to date, in my opinion, bro. Like, I had my issues with the Illuminati, but what Wanda did to them, I loved every moment of it. So ain't no complaints here. So that's why it's my number 9.
Okay. I would expect on that.
Yeah, man.
All right. I'm loving that. Any praise for one of my goats, Sam Raimi, I'm gonna take that.
See, I love Sam Raimi. I have no issues with his directing. There's obviously some films that I like and dislike. That's what almost every director. Not every director could be a Christopher Nolan, which a lot of people consider doesn't have a bad film. But I enjoy him. Like, I love. He's a director that takes risk and he knows what he's good at, and he executes it to the best of his ability. And he adapts, by the way. He adapts, unlike Michael Bay. Yeah, the second shot I took at Michael Bay today.
You would not let that go. Oh my God. All right, so my number 9 is another horror movie that just released. We're still in June, yeah. So it released a little bit earlier this month, like maybe like a week or two ago. And that's Dash Cam.
Oh, I saw your review for
Now,
that too.
yeah, it's a found footage movie. So folks who don't like found footage films, I don't know if you don't like them. I don't think this is gonna make you convert you over. I'm gonna say that first of all. You got to be a fan of found footage to enjoy this movie. And I like found footage movies. You know, they especially when they're done right because they just offer a different type of realistic horror to what you're watching. You feel like you're there, and yeah, it just takes you on a roller coaster ride. And this movie, 100% like takes you on a fucking ride. Like, man, like this put me back in the seats of like when paranormal movies were like hot. You know what I mean? Like after like the first two, like this puts me back in the seat as a viewer like that because it it throws you for a loop and there's a certain mystery about what the fuck is even going on. Like
Okay.
so like stories about this girl, I forgot her name, it's the main character. And this is it takes place during COVID times, right? So if I had to guess this was like 2020 when shit was on lock or whatever. And pretty much the girl, she's like an anti-vaxxer and she's like a Trump supporter. So off rip, this movie got like it says it got controversy because of that. But and I'll say personally, I think controversy surrounding it is a bit overblown. I don't think it's that crazy. But so she's living in LA and everything's locked down. So she takes a trip to London to chill with her friend, which is a guy and his girlfriend over there. And the whole like the first 15, 20 minutes is literally all set up. Like the girl's an asshole. She says asshole things. She be freestyling in the car, just saying asshole stuff, and it's all very hyper elevated. So you know that this is made to be like over the top. But after that setup, okay, so she gets to her friend's house and they get into a fight. So she takes her friend's car and he does Uber. So she does an Uber to pick this old lady up. And from that point on, it is a fucking like roller coaster. Like it just nonstop horror, like on levels that you didn't even think would come to you with the premise.
Okay.
Like the premise sounds like it's going to be really, really grounded, but boy, does this shit take it there. Like,
Okay.
I mean, like I said, I feel like watching Paranormal again. There's just, and the other thing about it that's cool is the main girl, right? She goes live on YouTube, so she knows when she's talking to the camera, she'll be live, and you'll see commenters on the side just saying stuff. And as the things happen, if you read the comments, they kind of point you in the direction of what's going on, which makes it add a little cool layer to it. But talking about fucking like balls to the wall, man, nuts. So that's why I'm literally saying that, bro. Like if you watch found footage movie, this one's gonna take you on a ride. Deadass.
I haven't seen. Yeah. I'm dying for a good found footage. I ain't seen one in a while.
Yeah. Okay. This one goes there. Yeah.
All right. So that was your number 8, I believe. 9, right?
Yeah. Yeah. 9. Mm-hmm.
So my number 8 is it's called The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. It's a Nicolas Cage film, and and it's a different type of film because it's Nicolas Cage literally playing Nicolas Cage. And I don't mean that as an aspect like when we were talking about Ryan Reynolds that he plays the same character. No, this is legit Nicolas Cage, like playing Nicolas Cage. Everybody knows him as the actor and stuff like that, but not really with his real family. He's with his acting family and stuff, and he plays the struggling actor, like at the point, because at a certain point, right now he's probably in the renaissance of Nicolas Cage. He's getting all these big movies. He had Pig last year. He has this movie now, but 5, 10, maybe 8 years ago, he was in the Bruce Willis wave where he was just taking any any movie that came to him, and so this is like where the time frame is set, and it pokes fun at him, and actually like it holds a mirror in front of him. It's very introspective. Like it asks like the question, like why are you going this downward spiral? Like why, like in the 80s and the 90s, you're known as this big actor, and now you're pretty much a nobody. He's struggling to make ends meet as far as an actor goes, and I really like that because he was not afraid to poke fun at himself, because obviously if he's doing that, he has saying what goes and what doesn't goes and stuff like that. But yeah, I love that. But this may sound deep, like a deep film. It's the farthest thing from it, bro. This story and plot is fucking ludicrous, dog. They have Pedro Pascal, the Mandalorian. He plays this like Narcos boss, like mafioso type of thing, and he wants to be a scriptwriter as well. And Nicolas Cage is like his favorite actor of all time, so he invites him over and stuff like that. And while in the process of it's insane, the process of visiting him, the FBI is like it's insane, bro. It flips into an action film at that point, and what's crazy about it, it also turns into them trying to write a screen story for a movie. Like this plot is absolute insane. But I love how it weaved. It didn't weave perfectly. It has this issue, but it weaves from dramatic to comedic to action, and then stuff like that. So I enjoyed it. That was my number 8.
I've seen that movie on the timeline quite a bit from people. And you sold it to me way more than what I've seen people discuss it as. Like, like that sounds extremely interesting. Hearing you say that it jumps from genre to genre like that, I'm a fan of that kind of stuff anyway. So, okay,
Yep.
check that out.
That's my number 8.
Right.
So
All right. So, my number 8 is another one that's like it hit Shudder first, and it says exclusive, but again, who knows? I don't know. Is this movie called The Cellar, and it's about it's about parents with 2 kids that move to this new house for a job, and on the first night they get there, the parents have to go to a meeting, leaving the daughter who's the oldest and their son there.
Okay.
So, and they make it pretty clear that it's a strained relationship, like from the jump. Like they make it really, really clear, especially more so between the mom and the daughter. They make it absolutely clear. So they're gone, and the lights cut out in the house. So the daughter calls mom like, "Hey, what should I do to get the lights on?" And of course, mom is like, "Well, you need to go to the cellar to cut the power back on." And the daughter's scared, right? So she's like, "All right, look, there's only 10 steps down to the cellar. I was in there earlier, so just count to 10 and you'll be there." So she's on the phone. The daughter starts counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and she just goes on to like 20 and just keeps counting. And then the mom is like, and she's like, "What are you doing?" And her daughter just keeps counting. So rush home, and they get there, and they go in the cellar, and the daughter's just gone, like just gone.
What the?
So the movie is pretty much spent trying to find where the daughter went.
Okay.
And when I was watching this movie, I kind of was nervous because I'm like, is this gonna be like some bait and switch where it's like, oh, it's a metaphor for depression, or oh, it's a metaphor for growing up, and oh, there's not going to be any type of scary thing. It's just going to be, some dumb shit like that, right? Because I hate when horror movies try and do that. They try and disguise something like that in a horror movie just by having an atmosphere, and they don't offer any type of horror-esque characteristics to it. But boy, oh boy, when they get to that third act,
really,
everything that you wonder in They show it, you see it. You know, they don't overshow it to where it becomes a joke, but
Mm-hmm.
they show it enough to where it's just like, holy shit! Like the first thing that hits is just jaw dropping because you hear sounds and you're kind of like, is that what I think it is? You know, like they're not gonna show this. They're not gonna show that. And then they
Mm-hmm.
show it, and you're just like, whoa, okay, this is way more than I'm marking for. So that's what it reminds me of, right? It reminds me of a good early 2000s horror movie, just done in today's times. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's really what I enjoyed. Because you remember we were talking the other day about, favorites of the horror era, and we
Mm-hmm.
both agreed that the 2000s is, they got some slappers in there.
Yes, they do.
So this movie reminds me of something from that time in a good way, not like a bad way where it's like it looks cheap and shit, but it just reminds me of like those haunted house movies from that period of time, and it was a fun ass ride, man. I ain't gonna lie, I really
Okay.
enjoyed myself.
Right. And you does that's a Shutter as well.
Yeah, it's on Shutter. Mm-hmm.
All right. All right. Well, my number 7, it's a little on the lighter side. And honestly, I'm not even gonna lie. I did not expect to like this movie as much as I did, and I'm pretty sure you can contest with this. And that's Turning Red, bro. Like Turning
Uh,
Red is my number 7, dog. I love
oh, you know what's
everything.
crazy? It's gonna be something, right? My number 7 is Turning Red too.
Wow.
Dead ass.
So we might as well both talk about number
Yeah,
7 as
we
well.
talk about it.
Yeah, I talk
Mm-hmm.
about what I like, and you could talk what you like. Yeah, man. What didn't I like about it? First and foremost, I like the anime aspects of this film. Like it's woven all over this film, and
Mm-hmm.
I really like when like these big studios stick to the heritage and the culture that they're representing, and they did that to the T with this film. Like it's like from the how strict, because we all know the stereotypes, how strict the parents are and stuff like that. The grandmother and all of that good stuff. I enjoyed it, but it was fun, heartfelt, and you and what you call it, the representation of damn. I don't know because I don't know if that's what they're going through, like turning red and the age that she's going through. Like people say that's a metaphor for something else. And if
Yeah, it's
that's
that.
it is that all right. So
Yeah,
I
definitely.
didn't want to put that out there, and that's not being the case and stuff like that. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I like that they took risks. Disney really took risks. Like usually they do a lot of cookie cutter films as and
They
stuff
do.
like that, but here yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was fun, and they had the banger of the year. I've never met no. Come on, bro.
Ooh.
Come on, bro. Banger of the year. Kendrick who? Push your
For
who?
real though.
Stop it.
For real.
Stop the
For
cap.
real.
Yeah, man. But this was
That should be in my head all the day.
exactly, and the fact that it was just me and my wife enjoying it, bro, watching it. Like no kid was needed and stuff like that, and it caught my interest as a grown ass man and stuff like that. Because a lot of these films, like yeah, it's directed for kids and stuff like that, but still, like being as a grown man, you could enjoy it, and yeah, and I dug it, bro. I really enjoyed it. That's my number 7. And what do you like about it?
I agree with everything you said. I like the anime esque well, not even esque. I mean straight up anime like type stuff in here. Like, because I remember me and my wife, my daughter, we sat down and watched it because I saw the commercial and I was like, oh, and it's on Disney Plus. This would be a good movie night. So I'm just going in here thinking like, it's gonna be another typical Pixar film.
Mm-hmm.
And to compare, like I thought it was gonna be like Luca. Like I think Luca is just a nice kid Disney movie. I don't think there's anything too crazily special about it. No
Mm-hmm.
disrespect to it, but it's just a typical Pixar movie. So I'm thinking that's what we're going into. And off jump from the opening like sequences, I was just like, this is different. You know, so much
Yeah.
anime sprinkled in there, like the little moments when all of the girls see the music group and they all just like and their eyes get big. Like that
Yeah.
is straight up like some Sailor Moon type stuff. Um, Even like the small parts when at the beginning of the movie when she's running through the streets, like Like she does something where she's running and she tries to stop and she's like, it's not, like I'm
Yeah,
like, bro, that's 100% what Goku be doing. Like you know what I'm
bro.
saying?
I
So
was
it's little,
about to say Goku right before you said that shit.
yeah, I'm telling you, he be doing that stuff like and it's
Yep.
stopping. And that part of when she first turned into the panda, like she like jumps in the air and it like pauses and it's like shing, just a photo of her almost. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
whoever made this had to have been influenced by anime because this is 100% that.
Yep.
Because that's the biggest thing that caught me. I'm like, wow, I've never watched a Pixar movie and been like, that's a dope shot. Like I don't usually do that. I don't be like, oh, that's a
Um,
really great shot in this movie. So I like, I like that. The metaphor like you said about turning red and the metaphor for it's a coming of age film because of that. Um,
exactly. Yep.
I thought it was I thought it was genuinely funny too. Like there's of course the kid humor, but there's also layers like above kids' heads that adults can really laugh at too.
Exactly. Yep.
And it's crazy because I'm able to talk about it in depth because I just watched it. I watched it earlier with my daughter. So
Oh, today?
um, yeah, I literally watched it this
Wow.
morning with her. Like she likes the movie too. She's like, "Daddy, can we watch Red Panda?" And I'm like, "All right, cool."
Red
I'm down.
Panda.
I actually love that movie. And like you said, banger of the year. Like,
Easily. I know I
and then
drive
they
my
got
wife crazy.
banged. Oh, me too. I'm I never been somebody like you. I know the words to that joint, man. Like
Dog, I
banger,
went to YouTube just for that song alone and played it on repeat.
bro. It's in my library. Like dead
You
ass.
got me
Like
beat. You got me beat.
like, bro. I drove to work playing it, so I'm like that phenomenal record. But yeah, it's just a fun movie, man. I thoroughly enjoyed everything about it. Honestly, not much I can say that we haven't discussed already.
Yeah, man. I really enjoyed it too. And I love I'm a sucker for parent and kid relationships, like when they're at first broken and they have to find a way to mend it and all of that stuff. And yeah, I love what the panda represented and stuff like that. It was a lot deeper than what was first met on the surface and stuff like that. So it gets
Yeah,
brownie points for me.
yeah.
All right. So next up, my number six, which I could 100% guarantee it's higher on your list than it is mine, but number six, I really enjoyed it, and that's X.
Oh yeah. Okay.
X, man. Yeah, that boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Talking about wild films, oh Jesus Christ. Where do I begin, bro? I didn't know what to make of this film at first. Because me, once I start seeing somebody that's not particular actor, especially a musician that's plopped in the film, I
Oh
usually
yeah.
think this is a bad film, subpar, et cetera, et cetera. That could be my discernment, but that's how I automatically feel. So I saw Kid Cudi there. I'm like, oh yeah, this film is, yeah, I'm already tuned off for it. But right off the bat, though, me and you spoke about this, the Texas Chainsaw vibes, bro. With the
Hmm.
friends in the van trying to go into homes when they're not supposed to. Like, god damn, bro. Like I felt like this was done better than, I'm gonna get a lot of flack, than the original Texas Chainsaw, in my opinion. Maybe because like Texas, well, they came out with 70.
4.
That's 74, dog. That's
Ooh.
40. That's 49 years ago, dog. It doesn't hit like it used to. It's extremely dated, and to me, it doesn't age that well. Like I told you, I was watching it, and in some scary moments, I was dying laughing because it didn't portray like it should have. But here, man, like it has some absolutely terrifying sequences, and I love, like, it felt like at times it felt shot to shot. Like they had the scene in Texas Chainsaw when the dude goes into Leatherface home, and he's in front of the home, like right in the screen door, and he's waiting for somebody to like enter. Like they had a shot like that in this film. So I'm like, okay, so that's definitely they got inspiration from. But what I
Mhm.
loved about it, man, it has a weird, serious undertone that I was not expecting about aging and stuff like that, and dealing with that concept. And me, somebody that recently hit that milestone that I'm still trying to get over, man. But yeah, I guess whatever. It resonated a little bit with me, but I couldn't resonate with the people that they're trying to portray, because that old lady dog and that husband is wild, absolutely
Mm-hmm.
wild. And I loved how
Mm-hmm.
they picked them off one by one by one by one in all interesting ways. The very first kill, I believe, was Buddy, who was trying to leave out there.
With the
And that,
glasses.
bro, that sequence, how it unraveled slowly. Like me and you watching it, we know, yo, get out. Don't stop the car. You have no business going out there, like you done for. But how she disarmed him, like at first he's like weirded out. He's like, why is this old lady in the middle of the road? But like she
Mm-hmm.
easily disarmed him, and then, and then she went, tried to seduce him and stuff like that. Just like different layers. It was it was a very weird, odd portrayal, but I really dug it, bro. And the main actress, the final girl, like her character was dope from where she first started to where she ended up. I really enjoyed it. I felt like a lot of these characters had actual progression, because a lot of
Mm-hmm.
films they just worry solely about the cool kills, cool shots, get the score at the right moment. But no, these characters progress. Especially Jenna Ortega's character is not the same person that you met at first. It's like she's very stuck up, and then towards the end of it, she's a complete different character. But yeah, man, X is my number six.
Man, I was going. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait.
Yeah,
But
because
you know X is my shit. You already
yeah,
know. So
I know you got it high up there.
yeah. So I love hearing the love for X. And my number six is Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Mm,
Everything piggyback of everything you said. Feel the exact same way. And we had discussions before the film came out. I told you, and I even tweeted this and said this. Like, I just want this to feel like a Raimi film. Like, even if it's in the slightest, like I want to be able to watch this movie and be like, "That's Raimi, that's
no,
Raimi, that's
you
Raimi,
got
that's
that.
Raimi," and holy shit, did I get that? Like, what? Honestly, you know, you could pretty much tell, and from what he said too, like 40 minutes been cut out, and they had to do reshoots. So of
Mm,
course there's some retooling of what he did, but I still like that overall. I can definitely say this felt more like a Raimi film than it did an MCU film, and that's
mm,
all that I wanted. I mean, of course, the MCU doesn't have to be there, and they made them do certain things, but just the idea that there are literal sequences and things that speak like directly to Sam Raimi. I mean, like when the zombie Strange came back and that arm shot out of the ground and it just looked like Evil Dead, and then he got up and he was
yeah.
just like, all of that. I'm like, Sam Raimi, and just all of the kooky shit, even the fight with the music notes. I know a lot of people didn't really dig that, but I'm like, I just
Mm.
liked it because of how fucking kooky it was. Like, it
It's
reminded me of,
unique.
yeah, it's unique, and everything unique may not be the best, but I respected and liked it because that's not something we would see we've ever seen as far as creativity in the MCU to that level. Like,
Mm,
and like you said too, it actually feels like a real horror movie. Like there are just undoubtedly that this is the first horror movie. Like that scene when the door's shut and the water's falling and they're just waiting for Wanda to to see how she's gonna break through, and they're just staring like,
mm, yeah.
and she just pops out of there with the red eyes. Like, I love that. I love the Carrie reference, with the oil and blood on her. Like,
Mm,
it's so many things that I enjoy about the film. And like you said, with the Illuminati, a lot of people gave it slack, like, oh, they died. I'm like, I mean, yeah, it could have been better, but I mean, I personally, what Wanda did to their asses, that felt like what I wanted to see in Infinity War. I wanted to see people get dismantled like that in Infinity War,
mm.
like Swiss cheese and uh, Mr. Fantastic with his making his head explode. crushing Black Bolt's skull after muting his mouth, cutting Peggy
Sheesh.
Carter in half.
Sheesh.
Like, I'm just glad I'm just glad they did the black woman the least dirty at everybody. Like, she just got a statue slammed on her because I was when they came to her last, I was like, she better do this Captain Marvel extremely dirty. I already know she better cut her head off or something crazy, but didn't
Yep.
do it that bad. So, even seeing Professor X with his yellow chair and a little
Bruh.
note, like,
Bruh.
call me nostalgia bait, but that shit got me. I was in there like, you know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
overall, I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it's going to be one that I revisit so much because it's just a breath of fresh air to see Raimi back in this space delivering like this, man. So, and that's my number 6 film.
Okay. Yep, definitely. I'm surprised. I thought it would be like top five for you because I know you loved the film a lot more than I did. But yeah, couldn't agree more with what you said. So my number five, which I believe is also in your top five as well, and that's Scream or Scream Five,
Yeah.
whatever they're calling it. All right, maybe I was a little overreacted a little bit because I did a ranking of the Scream franchise, and I believe I had this number one, and that might be a little bit of blasphemy. So I apologize right off the bat. I need to rewatch this and one again. Like I was off that high, bro, because that's how much I really dug this film, bro. Especially to me, the Scream franchise, it has a lot of weak entries in my opinion. Like so, and I actually thought this franchise was dead in the water. I was not expecting much from this film when I first heard about it, but man, this blew me off, blew my socks off, bro. Like Ghostface, bro, Ghostface was absolute
Mm-hmm.
terrifying to the point, man, that yeah, he's up there with one of the ghosts in my opinion. Like when you ask me top, iconic horror, like you got Michael Myers, Freddy, Jason, and then Ghostface. In my opinion, those are that's the Mount Rushmore for me right now, man. Like it was amazing, man. Amazing kills and the story. It made sense, bro, because a lot of the other screams it leaned heavy on the humor, which was a detriment to the scares, in my opinion. Like, but here, man, they were straight up terrifying, and it had its humor in all the right moments, in my opinion. This Ghostface was calculating. He was smart. He knew when and how he did the cop. Whoo, Lord, that's all I
Front
gotta say,
lawn.
man. Oh my God. And to me, this is the second best opening of all the Scream movies behind Drew Barrymore's, bro. Jenna
Oh
Ortega's
yeah,
character, bro. Oh my God.
yeah.
Right off the bat, I always could tell it was gonna be a good opening with the because of the back and forth with the Ghostface persona and the girl. I felt that vibe, bro. I felt that tension and how he played it off. I believe he played it off as he was the mom's friend from AA or some weird I'm like, bro, this is genius. And they kept it
Mm-hmm.
up to date too, like 2022. Like the locks is not normal locks, it's electric now. Like it's a this was an updated and rehashed version of the first film, in my opinion, bro. I really dug
Yeah, it
it.
was.
I dug it. They paid homage to the legacy characters, well, most of them and stuff like that. And but they let the new cast shine, bro. And every single one of the new cast, they had their moments, in my opinion. Every single
It
one.
did.
They didn't feel like tropes. Like they felt like legit actual characters. And yeah, man. What more can I say? It brought fresh air into this franchise, and that's why we're having a Scream 6 next year, I believe.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Shooting
man.
now.
Yep, Scream 5 is my number 5.
That's ironic. Did you do it on purpose, or did it just fall that way?
Bruh, I just started as soon as I started saying that it rhymed, bro. Yeah, I'm telling you, you're not the only rapper here, dog.
Yeah, you tone it down. All right. Bruh, if y'all ever hear this man bars, hmm,
Oh man, that's funny.
um, Number 5 for me is Sonic 2.
I still haven't watched
Um,
that, bro. L on my part.
just you know what?
L
You
on
don't
my
watch real
part.
cinema. You don't watch real cinema.
You're
But
right, dog.
anyway, Sonic 2, man. The I was apprehensive going into this because I felt the first one I felt was I thought it was good, but just good from the sense of like, oh, they put Sonic on, put Sonic and Eggman on big screen. You know,
Mm.
I don't technically think there's anything wrong with it, but it didn't, it was just cool. Like it was like a cute movie. I feel like for an introduction to Sonic for kids, who don't know anything about Sonic. I thought it was just cool. It was really playful. They had to build a relationship between Sonic and the humans, and I thought it was just what it was. So I was like, Sonic 2, what are they gonna do, man? But Sonic 2, man, it feels like they were like, yo, we're gonna make this movie for like the real Sonic fans who played like the games for real. Like there's so much lore from the Sonic story that they threw in here. I mean,
Mm.
for one, they got Knuckles perfect. Like Idris as Knuckles is perfect, like literally perfect. Um, what else can I say? Sonic again is perfect. Tails was perfect.
Mm.
Um, I think this movie was funnier from an adult standpoint. Like to me, this movie had a lot more humor that adults could adapt to,
Mm.
or just catch that kids can't, and it just made the movie hilarious, yo. Like there's one scene when Tom, that's to do with Sonic, Sonic's dad, if you will. He's talking to this guy, um, trying to make him like play like power golf or some shit, and
Mm.
he's going like, let's go, and he's like, ha, don't make me, please. It's just there's so much slick humor in there that that are strictly made for adults. And another thing about the film is the action in here is on point. Like
Mm.
after seeing this, I was like, man, there's no reason why they can't make a Dragon Ball Z movie. We've gotten too many
Really?
examples. Yes, we've gotten too many examples of like ways to do Dragon Ball, and this is yet another one right here. Like, you haven't seen it, so I don't want to spoil it because
I was gonna watch it today too, but I got a little busy.
yeah, I think if you watch it and report back, I want to hear what you got to say about it because as a Sonic fan, oh boy, it takes it there.
All
It
right.
takes it there. So I'm not gonna get too much into it because you haven't seen it. So, and I know you don't like watching. You like watching one trailer and that's it. So
I don't even think I did watch the trailer for this. I did. I did.
yeah,
Yep.
so I'm gonna leave it there. But and the soundtrack slaps too. Soundtrack
Okay.
slapping. That's my number
Bet.
5, Sonic 2.
All right. Before we move on, some important news. I thought I'd report back to you. The wife said his bars are elite. Elite, my guy. Elite. Just thought put that on blast for all my haters out there.
All right, go, me hear some balls right quick. Go ahead.
Normally I would. Yeah, that's not a problem. Yeah, right off the dome. It's light work for me. But we got a packed show today. And it's getting late. I don't want to hold anybody up because when I spit, bro, it's not just like 8:16. Bro, beast. Anyways,
All right,
moving on.
for y'all listening out there, I'll get the vocals and I'll put them out when I hear
Moving. Oh, damn. Woo. Moving on. My number 4 would 100% shock every single person. Not because it's on my list, just because that it's not higher. I was telling my wife my list earlier. Her eyes almost popped out her face when I told her how low it was. But number 4 is the Batman. Believe it or
it.
not,
I'm not
number
surprised at
4.
that.
Really? Okay. That's shocking.
I already know what you got first. I'm pretty sure I know.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see. But from here on, 4 to 1, these are all A+ movies, bro. Every last one of these. Like any given day, this is like 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D. I know nobody's ever done that, but yeah, that's what I'm doing today. Oh yeah, number 4, the Batman is. What is there to say? Hold on.
You finna pull the Blu-ray out?
I had to. Come on now. This is my first Blu-ray I bought since the Black Friday, bro. Absolutely gorgeous, bro. I've seen this movie twice in theaters. I haven't watched a
Let me
movie.
see that.
That's not the one you got?
Yeah. I thought it's the 4K, right?
Yeah, 4K.
Okay.
Yeah. I saw this
That's the
movie
first
twice
movie you
in
bought since
theaters.
Black Friday?
Yeah, I want to say since Black Friday, bro. I've been slacking, bro, on my movie getting, but I had to. Out of all the movies I've seen this year, I had to get the Batman, bro. Yeah, what can I say? Robert Pattinson exceeded my expectations as far as Batman goes, even though he wasn't 100% Batman yet, but obviously that was done on purpose. Like he has a monologue in the beginning of him trying to figure out ins and outs on how to become Batman, and at the end he realizes what he's been doing is not having the effect that he wanted to, and obviously that's leading him to becoming, Batman. I love the detective aspects of this. Like I understand other Batmans had bits and pieces of detective work as well, but here this is a whole film of him solving shit, bro.
Mm-hmm.
To the point, like I watched a 3 hour film of Batman with action set pieces, but not a whole like there's a bunch of there's films that are 2 hour long that have way more action than this film, and yet I was not bored at the slightest, bro. Immaculate storytelling, how they weave different plots in and out, bro. Oh, the what I love about this is the fear that he strikes as being Batman without being overly brolic, without being overly physical. It's just his demeanor, how he carries himself. He walks a particular way, not to look cool, but to incite fear. Like he does all these little things. Like like the whole thing about Batman being like dressed as a bat is because he wants to instill fear into villains with the thing that scared him the most, which was bats. And like this Batman, like you actually feel that. Like you see Christian Bale's Batman and stuff like that, costume wise, I'm like, bro, I'm not gonna be scared looking at a dude dressed like that. But him, like, like before you even see him, you hear his footsteps. Whoever thought about that in the story room, ingenious, absolutely ingenious. The chemistry between him and Catwoman, comic book accurate, like the most realistic that it's been to date, in my opinion. Riddler, in my opinion, was a fantastic villain. I know some people didn't like the resolution. I thought it was great because what are you gonna do a third act with villain with the Riddler as your villain? You can't go toe to toe with a guy like that. It has to be either smart or something of that nature. And that whole third act was not used because a lot of these third act beats are used for like that amazing action, and it did have that in the rooftop. But that whole third act was to put Batman on the pedestal to show you that he really is the hero of Gotham, even with all his errors and mistakes that he thought that he committed and stuff like that. At the end of the day, dude sacrificed himself, thinking like when he cut himself falling, he didn't know he was going to survive or not. Like he was willing to do everything for Gotham, which was he was there, White Knight in need, and yeah, this film, I loved the relationship between him and Alfred, and I love how different it was. It was not the comic book accurate relationship, but I felt like it was a jumping like a starting point for that. Like I feel like they've met at even ground, like all the tension and anger that Bruce Wayne was holding, like that one conversation that they had, like I felt that, man. I felt that it's one of the best scenes in my opinion as far as this goes. And yeah, that's pretty much. I don't want to. I could talk about this film for days. We could have just made a podcast for that alone. But yeah, that's pretty much why I have the
We already
Batman.
did it. You forgot?
We did do that. I forgot about that. That's pretty much why I have the Batman at number 4. Like yeah, as much as I love the Dark Knight trilogy, uh, I like his portrayal of Batman way more. As far as like it's more, it might not be 100% comic book accurate, but I felt like it was more. It still felt more Batman to me. Minus Batman Begins, he was extremely comic book accurate, but I had some questions as far as that goes. But yeah, the Batman number 4.
What you mean you had some questions?
Nah, he just learned shit too easily, bro. Like you just put a costume on, all of a sudden you know how to go upside down, grapple people. Like, come on, I have some. That's one of my big point. I hate when like these superheroes they get the costume, and for some reason maybe the costume comes with a how-to manual. Because all of a sudden they know how to do everything like they've been doing it for years and shit like that. I like that's another point for the Batman. Like he's learning, especially at the scene when he's in, the bomb explodes. He wakes up. He's in interrogation room with the cops and stuff like that, and he's trying to escape.
Mm-hmm.
Like Batman Begins, he's jumping out that roof with no hesitation whatsoever, and he's somersaulting into a truck and all that good stuff. but Robert Pattinson, dog, he hesitated, and you can see it's for good reason because he's gliding. He go head first into the railing and stuff like that. Yeah, the bridge and stuff like that. So it just like this to me is way more grounded than Nolan's Batman's, because Nolan's Batman still has that element of fantasy to me, because the stuff his Batman does, it's hyper fantasy, like from all three of the movies. It just has a lot of grounded elements and grounded characters in certain aspects, but here everything in the Batman feels tangible and realistic in my opinion. Like from the chase scene with him and Penguin on and on, like everything about it felt real and extremely grounded. And some people to me take grounded as being a negative, which I don't understand. Like to me, grounded is just another element that you could add to your comic book story, in my opinion.
No, you're right. 100%.
Yeah, so yeah, that's it. Love that movie.
All right. Well, number 4, right? Number 4.
Yep.
For me, and this may be surprising. Well, no, I don't know. It's probably not surprising for anybody. But number 4 for me is Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Kind of surprising, but not surprising at the same time, because I think I know what your top 3 is.
Yeah, you pretty much know. But this definitely is in like you said, this top 4 for me are all like
bangers,
top tier, like grade A. Like I don't think anyone would say any of these 4 movies are terrible, like or not great in my opinion. Yep. So yeah. So Everything Everywhere All at Once, man. This is one of those movies that is life changing. Like this is a movie you don't just watch, you experience it. You go through things by seeing the characters go through things. You know what I mean? Like, just and especially it's so hard hitting in today's times, and everybody literally going through everything. They're going through it. Everybody's going through something. So this movie just hit so many boxes for me emotionally. Just watching it, like I was crying like a baby watching it for certain scenes, man. Like, we've spoken about it before on the podcast, I think on the last episode, and just the messaging behind the movie, man. Like the husband just saying things like, people think that I'm weak because I'm kind, but they don't understand that I fight the world with kindness, and it's just like that's like a message, man. And then Michelle Yeoh's character does that, and she's able to get to her daughter that way. She's been fighting an uphill, and that's the crazy part. She's fighting an uphill battle, and as she's trying to get to her daughter, she's going uphill in a sense, but she's going upstairs. Like there's so many metaphorical context thrown around, but at the same time, it's not heavy-handed. Like it doesn't feel like, hey, here's this. Hey, here's this. Here's this. Just so you didn't understand, here it is again. Like everything just works out in a way that if you're not even paying attention to any of that, it's still a great movie because the cinematography is fantastic. The performances are all phenomenal. The action and the fight sequences are insane. Like this is some next level shit, and I think anybody who's seen this movie can agree. this is like there with the what this could easily go into some of the best films of all time. And it just came out this year. But I feel like you can put it in that list of best movies of all time, honestly, man. Like there's you know I mean there's just not enough to say about the movie. I think this film needs to be studied, honestly. And it needs to be studied by genre filmmakers, in my opinion, because this
Mm.
is how you make genre film hard hitting in the ability to include all of these things that are from, you know, drama films or, thrillers. Like it includes everything in the center of this genre film. And, keep saying everything everywhere. It just makes sense that all of this stuff is in here, man. So, yeah, like the messaging is crazy. Talking about depression, talking about living in the now, talking about being there for your family how
Yeah.
you can, not caring about anything else but just the now. And I'm here for you, my family. Like, that shit is so powerful that it's so powerful but simplistic. But when you presented it in such a uh, grandiose slash beautifully cinematic, well planned and comedic way, that it all just really hits home, man. So,
Hmm.
like I said, every box that you could actually want in a film is checked in this movie, and it over it over what is it it's overindulgent in it, and in such a subtle way that it just makes it crazy. So that's all I can say. Fucking great movie, man.
He said that's all I can say. Well, can't fault you with that, but funny that that's your number four because I'm gonna piggyback off you because that's my number three. Everything
Word.
everywhere
Okay.
all at once, man. This film is absolutely fucking fantastic, and it held the number one spot on my on my for the year for quite some time, man. And what I loved about this film was an easy film to digest because I loved how they
Hmm.
presented it. We were lied to. You see the trailer, you come in, you expect this hard hitting action flick, and pretty much that's it. That part is there, but all of that is just it's a disguise for what this film really is, and it's like weaved and riddled with like these deep messages and impactful messages. You talk about living in the moment. I'm not gonna lie, I struggle with that a lot, bro. Like I had to check myself in a certain aspect to make sure, like yo, you letting like all these great moments pass you by without really soaking it in and stuff like that. So like that's a like perfect example to say that's only one of the messages that it has there. There's a multitude of different messages, and it doesn't come off like preachy. Like it's like
Hmm.
that's why I say it's easy to digest. Michelle Yeoh, I believe she's typically like supporting cast. I believe this is her first main starring role, and she acted her ass off, bro. Like I love a character that starts one way in the beginning of the film that ends a complete different way, but and it's a very organic way of doing it because a lot of like
Hmm.
there was lesson learned, and to the point like midway of this film, like maybe three 2/3 of the way of the film, like she still hasn't learned her lesson. Like she saw her other half, like the I believe a movie star, and
Hmm.
she told her husband, "Man, I saw how my life was without you or whatever, and it was amazing." I'm like, "Sheesh." Like, how do you say something like that to your significant other, bro? That ass, god damn, I could have never, bro. Like, I hearing that shit, I would have, girl, that's it for me right there. So yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, and I loved how they handled her. Like you see how she's presented in one way, and you think her mission is just one particular mission, but no, it's a lot deeper than that. She's searching for somebody that's just like her because she's alone in this world and stuff like that. Yeah, just magnificent film, man. Absolutely magnificent. Like you say, like
Hmm.
I have it number three right now, but I could. This is the type of film that throughout the years I could easily see it creeping in my top films of all time, bro. Like it really, really, it's just so many layers to it, bro. So many layers that you can unravel. I've only seen it once, and I could guarantee you, I watch it again. I'm gonna find something else that I didn't see when I first, watched it. They take these silly moments like hot dog hands, bro, and it fits perfectly into the narrative of the story. So yeah, that's my
Mm-hmm.
number three, man. That's my number three. Everything, everywhere, all at once.
All right. Let's see. Ooh, you the yard shit. Um, this adulting thing where we haven't retired.
Tell me about it.
All right. So my number three is X.
Mm,
In a world of IPs, remakes, sequels, especially within the horror genre,
mm-hmm.
for Ty West to craft an original horror film like this that pays homage to, as you said earlier, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but still make it its own. And as you said earlier, even might be better than could be considered better than Texas Chainsaw Massacre to some.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like incredible, incredible. Like I don't see original horrors this strong out of nowhere. Like you could stand this next to any big horror movie. You can stand this next to Scream. You can stand this next to Halloween. You can sit this next to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You can sit this next to Chucky, and it's arguably right up there, better than some of them, and right just as good as it is with them. So for Ty West to write and direct this film,
That's crazy.
that's nuts.
Mm-hmm.
And to piggyback off what you were saying too about the characters, I think that's what makes the movie so freaking good. Is because the characterization is so well written. Like it is written because the movie is under 2 hours. I think the movie might be like an hour 40 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And for you to be able to understand what kind of character each person is, just makes the story that much better.
Mm-hmm.
Like the guy with the glasses, who's the director. He's the artsy bro of the clique. Jenna Ortega's character is the one questioning everything. She's kind of like, all of this shit is kind of weird. I don't know.
She's the innocent.
Yeah. And then you have Brittany Snow, who's the I just want the money. I don't give a shit. Like I'm in my prime age. I'm 30 something, and I'm gonna make do. You have the other girl. I forgot her name. I forgot what her character's name is, but the girl with the blue eyeshadow with the freckles. You have her, who's
the main character.
Yeah, the main character. She's like the young star. Like I'm ambitious and I can do it. And then you have Kid Cudi, who again, when you put a rapper or an artist in general in a movie, kind of like, and he's just a smooth, cool army veteran, and you get that same energy from him. You know what I'm saying? And then the other main guy whose idea was who wore the cowboy hat. You just get the cool Southern guy, the cool Southern country guy who I don't want no problem with y'all. I don't want no problem. It's all good, man. It's all good. Like almost like a Matthew McConaughey type vibe of a guy. So to get all of these different characterizations,
all right.
Exactly. To get all these characterizations without having to do a super duper deep dive into each character, that is masterful writing because that is very difficult to have so many characters share the same amount of time, but you recognize each character for who they are. And I say the characterization works so well because a lot of the kills are based off of characterization. A lot of scenes and the way stories weave in and out together are based off of characterization. So I can't stress that enough, man. Like there aren't any throwaway characters in such a large cast, if you will. So you got that, and the grandpa and grandma just equally unsettling. This thin line it walks of like I love the line that it walks. Well, not even the line. It's the coin. They walk of sexuality. Like I love how they do that. Like when you see the younger people who making the videos, doing sexual things, it's kind of like oh, this is arousing, but in the same sense they flip it, and when you hear that same kind of talk from the old people, it's kind of like ugh, you know what I mean? Like and I just love the idea of what sexuality is depending on who you are. Even I like that little small conversation they even have, after they get done making a scene, and Jenna's character's like, but how can y'all do that? how can you have sex on camera? That's like, you don't think that's weird? And, they respond back like, why is it weird? Why can't I own that? I should be able to do what I want to do. Doesn't matter.
Mm.
If I'm fine with it, why should it matter? And I just like how, real of a conversation that is when it comes to females and their sexuality. When it comes to guy sexuality, it's kind of like, oh yeah, I could big dick slinging, we can do whatever we want. But when it comes to women, if they want to act like that, it's looked at as like, oh, you shouldn't do that. You're a lady, you shouldn't do it. But it's like they should be able to do the same damn thing. And I like how that little small part was presented, but it wasn't super heavy handed. It just kind of popped out and it's kind of like, oh, that's a nice little addition to what's going on. And like you said, the kills, man, the kills are so good. The kills were so good because of how it was written. Like you see foreshadows to every single kill, so you kind of know what's coming. But
Yep.
the way it's directed, you're still on your edge of your seat. Like one of my favorite scenes is when it showed the main girl swimming in the pool, and you see the alligator. You see it pop up, and then it's a wide shot looking down of the alligator swimming towards her. I'm like, that is magnificent. That is horror gold, because it's setting you up to think that she's gonna get got, but later it happens to somebody else, and you see it coming, but you're like, oh shit, is this gonna happen? So masterful, man. Like that. To me being a director myself and a writer, watching that movie was like, wow, this is fucking awesome. A guy crafted something original and directed it. So yeah, I can go on about this damn movie. Yeah. That's my, what's that, number 3? Number 3 is X. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So yeah, can't go wrong with that in my opinion. I had it in my top 10 as well. X is a magnificent film and caught me off guard. I was not expecting much of anything going in for it, but yeah, pleasant surprise. And that leads my number 2. And my number 2 of the year is The Northman. The Northman. God damn, this film had me shook, bro. Whew. Bro, I fucking love this film with every fiber of my being, dog. It's a Norse epic. Alex Skarsgård played I've seen him in a bunch of different roles. I originally known him from True Blood. It's this vampire show from HBO back in the day and stuff like that. And that family is just riddled with talent, ridiculously riddled with talent. But what I like about this, man, is
like different... white man's.
That's a good way to put it. I didn't even think of that. But what I love about this film is the way they went about telling the story. Like, I'm very familiar with these type of films, these type of stories, because like right before I seen this film, I happened to be watching like a series about these stuff right before it came out. And Robert Eggers, he phenomenal. Like, I did a video about it, and I had a lot of comments from people of that heritage that's saying how accurate Robert Eggers was as far as his storytelling goes, because he said himself he did a lot of research. He wanted to be organic and true to the nature of things, and according to these people who say they're of this religion or whatever, they say it's 100% true. And yeah, and I could tell because a lot of these type of movies or shows that I watch that relate to this, it's not told in this fashion, bro, and it's brutal but also loving at the same time, as far as him trying to find, like, he was ready to give it all up. Like, his whole thing was revenge for his family, for his father, and he found true love, and he was ready to give it up. And right when he realized that he had kids on the way, like, he threw it all away again just so he could protect them. I love that selflessness of that main character, bro. The visuals were godly, bro. Oh my god. Like, I see about Valhalla all the time. That's their heaven and stuff like that. I've always just heard about it. So seeing somebody on the Pegasus riding until that shit right there blew my mind. And that third act battle with him, I love a good revenge film, but they're not. Most of the time, they're not really done right. And I felt like he executed
Where he
his,
got his
and
revenge.
whoo, Lord, in the illest of ways. And this film had a lot of twists and turns and stuff like that. Like how the film progressed, I didn't expect it to go in that certain route. Like they made him seem like he was untouchable, and he got touched real quick. So and like you didn't know
Mhm.
where it was gonna go, and yeah, loved it, and damn, I had a point that I was gonna bring out, which I forgot. Damn it! But yeah, yeah, the Northman was magnificent, man, magnificent, and Robert Eggers, like his films. I feel like a lot of times when you watch it, you need a encyclopedia to know what you're watching because you have The Lighthouse, which is like I felt like I was in AP classes or something trying to decipher what I was watching, but eventually I got I got parts of it. But I'm saying all that to say like The Northman is his most digestible film by far. It's easy to
It is.
follow, and I
Yeah, it
think
is.
it's the best for that as well because yeah, this is a perfect example of less is more in my opinion, and I highly doubt he's gonna go that route again because he said studios had a lot of input in it, but this is one of the few times that I think the studios actually did the right part because if a lot of times these actors, if you go not actors directors, you go unchecked, they do whatever they want. I like Christopher Nolan, I love the guy, but come on, bro. Dumb it down a little bit, bro. I got some college. I didn't graduate college. But anyways, yeah, that's the Northman for me, my number two.
Where yes, yeah, I knew what you were saying. All right, so
I'm surprised. I didn't think you would.
yeah, I figured because we've had conversations and I have a keen memory, so I can I can pick out for you. I can tell when you really fuck with something when either you can go in length about it and talk about it, or your tone of voice when you talk about it.
Yeah, you're
And
damn right.
that was one of them, Northman, because I remember when I hit you after I saw it,
Whew.
and I was like, yo, I remember telling you like, yeah, I liked it, even though this stuff ain't really my thing. I don't
Mm.
know if I would watch it again, and it's not nothing had to do with the quality. I'm just not I'm not big into this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
And
it's
I was
hard
just
to
like, tell me,
digest.
yeah, and I was just like, tell me, what was, what makes this different and what was dope about it. And then you went on for like 30, 30 minutes. So I was like, oh, he fucks with this one. But my number two, no surprise, Scream
Mm.
5. Yet again,
Fire.
another movie that
Fire.
like I was talking about X, the characterization in this film was incredible,
Mm-hmm.
um, incredible. Not no throwaway characters, and it's like the throwaway characters that were there, they had a purpose and added to the story. Like excuse me, what was the first guy that got killed? He was
Oh,
related to Stu, wasn't he?
yeah, he was related to Stu. Yep. Yep. He was
Yeah,
like
and it's just
Stu
kind of like,
nephew or something like that.
yeah. So at first they're showing the guy, I'm like, who the fuck is this? And then I'm thinking he's gonna be an intricate part, but he gets killed off so quick, and I'm like, oh shit,
Yep.
okay,
Yep.
they're going after the legacies attachment. So characterization fantastic, and when they first announced this movie, I kind of was like, mm, do we really need another one? We have 4 Screams. I love the whole franchise, so I'm like, no, what are we doing? Um,
Mm-hmm.
Not to say I was thought it was gonna be terrible, but it was just a thing like, do we really need it? What are we gonna do?
Mm.
And boy, oh boy, did my mind change when that first trailer dropped. I was like, holy shit, this one is gonna be more serious.
Yep.
It's gonna be more vicious, and it's just gonna be crazier. And this movie delivered. The trailer was literally what we got in the movie, and I loved it. Like you said, the opening kill with Jenna is literally, I think, the best since the first one.
Mm-hmm.
The brutality, kicked her wrist in. I'm like, holy shit, like, the playing with the door lock, and that right there, I'm telling you, that right there is why I do not trust the phone app lockers, bro. Like, I'm
I
like,
agree.
mm-mm,
Easy to hack.
I am,
Easy to hack.
no, no thanks. I need the regular joint with the keys. So I
You're
thought,
damn right.
the characterization, I love how meta they got, when talking about the remakes and requels. Like I love
Mm-hmm.
how they literally like whoever wrote this is just genius. Like the way they broke down remakes and why certain ones failed and why they don't. Like it's just like I'm sitting there watching it like it's kind of right. You know what I mean? So I love how they broke that down. I love um, the kills just being brutal. Like you said, the cop got it killed in her front lawn. Then he stabbed her son and was it the neck he stabbed him in?
Yeah, slow too.
And then as he was bleeding, went down with him and looked him in the eye. I was like, this nigga, wow, dog, right? He is wailing right now. And yeah, and of course the cinematography was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Probably I could probably give this movie the best cinematography of the series, honestly.
Easily, easily.
Like, I, and I'm in love with '90s cinematography. And I love the
Mm-hmm.
first one the most, just because it looks like that. But this one, man, um, and like I said, Ghostface being so vicious, just like like I said, in Halloween Kills, he transcends. Ghostface transcended in this shit. Like, not a game at all. Like I said, when you stab somebody and look them in the eyes as they die,
Mm-hmm.
that's some other shit, dog. That's some
Mm-hmm.
other shit. And yeah, Scream 5 did not let down. It's funny. I was actually gonna watch this one and X uh this week, but I've been too busy. But man, just both two. Just Scream is just fantastic, man. Like I'm looking forward to number 6, and yeah, I can't say much that hasn't been said already.
Yeah, agree 1,000%. 1,000%. Yep. So that leads our number one films of this year. Pretty obvious which one is yours.
Yeah,
Well do. And mine, I'm not sure if it's gonna shock some people, but it
I think I will.
recently, yeah, it probably will, because I honestly, bro, this wasn't even in my most anticipated. I wasn't expecting much of it, but yeah, enough of me rambling. It's Top Gun Maverick, bro. Whoo! Holy shit! God damn! This is the epitome of what summer blockbuster movies are, bro.
Mm.
Holy shit! No, I got to see this a little bit early, and it was still packed, completely packed. But like, what I loved about it is because it took everything that it did good in the first film and then built on top of it while also adding new as well. Like a lot
Mm.
of people, like when the first film works, their first go to is just make it bigger. No, they didn't. They made it. They made the action sets were bigger. Obviously, the film's like 36 years old and stuff like that. But it's still it has a very familiar feel to it, which I absolutely love, bro. But I was in the edge of my fucking seat, dog. Like like anxiety adrenaline coursing through my body, dog. I felt like well, I've been told I'm a very mellow dude. If when I express myself when I have to, dog, I almost got off my seat, started cheering like a little, and I don't do that, bro. That's how epic it was. Like the action is not even fighting or anything like that. It's just jets flying in this. Bro, this shit was written amazing. And what surprised me is the emotional gut punch and impact that this film had, bro. It wasn't just your typical action flick. Yeah, it has a lot of these moments. It's you grab popcorn, you sit back and you relax. But it had all the great elements of it, but it also had a lot of like consequence to it, to your actions and stuff like that. The heart, bro, was ridiculous. It had me water eyed in a few moments. Like I did not expect that from a Top Gun movie. Like, yo, I'm baffled right now that I'm even saying that. Yo, this shit like Tom Cruise to me, um, action like big names are not or a thing of the past is not a necessity anymore. Like you as like I feel like the films carry now. You don't need um Leonardo for your film to go number one or anything like that.
It's true.
But
Yeah.
Tom Cruise is a dying breed, bro. He's a legit action star, bro. And this film, like he brought it. Like Tom Cruise to me is a guy that I could say I don't think I've ever seen him phone it in any of his portrayals, but you could tell that this film it meant something to him because he brought it, bro.
Mhm.
He brought it. He brought it like he was emotional when he had to. Like his cadence in this film was ridiculous, bro. Like the script, I see why it took so long for them to make a sequel, and I hope this is the end of it because this film was so good that you need another decade or three to make another one like this. Like this was fine tuned to every single detail. The third act was fucking ridiculous, dog. Like one of the best third acts, like period, that I've seen in a while. It has predictable moments. Like obviously, like you can't get away with some of the situations. Like yeah, predictable. This is gonna happen. I'm like, okay, this is probably gonna happen. This is probably gonna happen, but the leading up to it is what caught me off guard, bro. And the execution, crazy. And the chemistry between the cast, dog. Oh my god. Absolutely ridiculous, dog. Absolutely. The fact that I have Top Gun over the Batman, you know how I love Northman, everything ever like it's blown away, bro. Absolutely, like this is what it means to be like to go watch movies. And that's it's no coincidence because I'm seeing it's breaking these ridiculous like week to week box office numbers. Like it dropped like 29% or some on the second week after making over the bro, that shit is unheard of. Like
Mhm.
people are going out to see this for a reason, bro. Like man, I hate that my top four is so predictable because I like to throw a movie here that not too many people are talking about here and there, but bro, this shit's undeniable, bro. This is absolutely fantastic, dog. Top
Hey
Gun
man,
Maverick, it's it is what it
ain't
is,
nothing
bro.
wrong with
This
that.
is yeah, this is a quintessential action film, bro, in all the right ways possible. This is what the Fast and the Furious franchise tries to do, but fails miserably. Like in my opinion, bro. Like well done, man. Well done, fucking well done. And I believe Christopher McCabe, I forgot from Mission Impossible. I believe he came in here to help with some of it as well, bro. This
Oh
man,
word.
whew, I see. I see, and to think, man, he was about to, he wanted to do a Superman movie, but never mind. That's another topic. But that was my number one. That was my number one.
He wanted to do a Superman movie that tied in Green Lantern. Anyway, well, you know, unbelievable that sounds. That niggas heard that and said no.
Mind blowing, bro.
The dude that did the Mission Impossible movies
Easy bill right there. But okay, hey, hopefully David cleans out.
had arguably one of the best movies of 2018 with Fallout, and he's like, hey,
That was
I got
my
a
number
story with
one
this.
movie for 2018 was Fallout.
I got a movie, you know, with the Superman you already have cast, Henry Cavill, who is a groundbreaking star that everybody loves, to tie in another movie, Green Lantern, for Man
Crazy.
Still 2 sequel to boost that. But you know, you see how they fumble opportunities. You know,
Yep. But that's the
Darkseid did a movie,
usual.
but you just cut it out. We got Darkseid doing an invasion of Earth, but you know, it's not good enough. But
Nobody's gonna like
anyway,
it.
anyway, so obviously the first thing on my movie on my list is the Batman, and I don't see that changing even when the year's over with. Um, Being the Batman stand that I am, um, this movie was everything I wanted and more, and stuff that I didn't even realize that I wanted from Batman. I mean,
Speechless, huh?
I'm telling you, I was in theaters. Like when I got out of theater, I literally sat in my car for about 20 minutes, just like, how did they how did they do this? Like, because you know people had their gripes, but for me, this movie this is a perfect. Like, this is a 10 out of 10. Like,
Mm-hmm.
point blank period. Like, even it's like the Batman shit aside, like you take that out of it, all of that's perfect to me. But just as a film, like the technical aspects of this movie, the lighting is like incredible. Like most of it shot at night, and it's shot in a way that night actually looks like it's not like a fake nighttime. Like it's shot like when you go outside right now, and if you just cut your eyes kind of adjust to the darkness with the light around, that's what this movie looks like.
Yep.
The way they paint with the light, the rusty oranges, the yellows, the reds, like they just paint the scene with the color. Every single frame of this movie is a painting that can go on a wall, which is something I always wanted from a Batman movie. This the what is it? The soundscape for the movie, from sound effects to that score that feels very vintage, like that reminds me of, the '60s orchestra / Batman and animated series orchestra, but it's updated to fit today's times. The angles, man, like Matt Reeves just putting cameras on stuff that you normally wouldn't see put on. Like, one of the best things about this movie, and that I love, is that every piece of B-roll is shot in such an interesting way to keep the story moving that there's no boring moments. Like, transitioning from one scene to the next, it's always something that's still hand-picked and chosen. Like when Batman and Catwoman leave, her apartment from just getting kicked in, there's a shot where it shows both the front. It shows both of the motorcycle tires from the front. You kind of just see him kind of shifting and driving like that. That's, some people may see it as just a shot, but I'm like, if you just the blocking and the framing of something like that, just to show the motorcycle riding as a way to transition, just makes for an interesting thing to look at with your eye. And I just love that Matt Reeves did that. Like, you could tell every scene was meticulously picked and chosen. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, technical side is just amazing. But like, just from the Batman, it feels like the most Batman movie I've ever seen in my life. It's what I wanted. I love that he's a combination. To me, he's like a combination of Batfleck and Bale, with his own sprinkled on, because he has that. While he's not a brute like Batfleck, like you said, his characteristic in the way he does stuff is brute like. He's unhinged. Like, the way he walks is slow as hell. You hear his footsteps. Even when you see him show up, it's like, holy shit! Like, this is a guy that if I saw walking, I would run, because I'm like, this nigga looks crazy. And they get that right about it, because out of all Batman films I've seen, I've never seen Batman in a scene with other people and it just feels so awkward and weird. You know what I'm saying? Like when he walks into a room of people, everyone's kind of like, okay, what are we doing here? And I just love that awkward nature. Love the action. I've seen people complain about it who, in my opinion, if you complain about it, you don't really know anything about action, like, whatsoever. And you can come at me. I don't care. You don't know shit about action if you think the action was terrible. Like, oh, he fights slow. I'm like, it's in frame. It's not cut to pieces. You see the fists connect. You see the kicks connect. I mean, I might do a breakdown for that alone, because you don't understand. Like, you're not fit to watch the third act of him and the Raptors hopping over a rail, kicking one dude, and then in the same motion kick another guy off of the thing, do a fucking barrel roll over what's the shit called? Over a rail, hitting a dude, slinging them all, and this is all in one frame. Didn't cut one time. Like, that kind of shit is what makes John Wick so dope. Because you see everything that's going on. There's no confusion about what's happening in the fights. You know what I'm saying? That's not to say that everybody who cuts, does bad or nothing like that. Because like I said, I still think the warehouse scene is the best Batman fight scene. But
hands down.
But in the Batman solo and for what they were doing, this shit is still like amazing to see. Bruh, bruh, when the glass breaks and he comes down, gets up,
Wasted no time.
boom, 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 and it's just he goes straight to work, straight to work. So, all the characters in here, I think, were done well. I think the characterization again in this movie is written so well. Like, there's not really any throwaway characters because it's kind of like when you think of the dude that speaks to Bruce Wayne at the funeral when he's like, he deserved it. You know what I'm saying? And when Bruce walks away, he tucks back into the shadows, right? It pays off because later he's like, he asks him, "Who are you?" He's like, "I'm Vengeance." And what did Vengeance say he was? Vengeance said, "I am the shadow." So that's like a way to connect all of these ideas in such a subtle way. Even the imagery of when he cut the power line, he falls down in the water, he comes out baptized, and it's on some Moses shit. He parts the Red Sea. He leads his people across. Like, there's so many small things like that, and it's just so brilliantly written that if you aren't looking for it, you're not going to see it, but it's not going to take away from the movie. Riddler, Paul Dano is a madman, dog. Mad man, like the way this motherfucker be screaming. Like,
no.
I mean, that part. I mean, the first scream he did when he hit dude over the head with the carpenter tool. And just him. What's the first one he said? I'm gonna keep killing again and again and again until finally. It's like, this is Bug, bro. Like, he's out there, yo. So, I'm gonna just get off of it because I could just spend I could spend hours talking about why this movie was so damn perfect for me, man. Like, it like, to me, and again, it's how you was talking about how Top Gun Maverick is the summer blockbuster. Is what it's made for. Like,
yes.
Watching the Batman is like, this is the level of care I want to see in more CMMs, dog. Like, the level of care, the level of detail, the level of execution in the writing, in the cinematography, in the fight sequences, in the performances. Like, this is top tier. Like, top, like, easily. Like, that just is what it is. So, yeah. So Batman #1. I mean, no surprise.
All right. So just in case some new listeners are in, go ahead and just give a rundown of your 10-1 so that everybody could know, and I do mine as well. Fire list, by the way.
Oh yeah, shit, fire shit. Like I said, we're students of film, so I ain't expect nothing less. Number 10 for me was Hellbender. Number 9 was Dash Cam. Number 8 was The Cellar. Number 7 was Turning Red. Excuse me. Number 6 was Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Number 5 was Sonic 2. Number 4 was Everything Everywhere All at Once. Number 3 was X. Number 2 was Scream. And number 1 was The Batman.
Yep. And my top 10 was number 10, The Adam Project. Number 9, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Number 8, Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Number 7, Turning Red. Number 6 is X. Number 5, Scream 5. Number 4, The Batman. Number 3, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Number 2, The Northman. And number 1, Top Gun Maverick. Woo! Fire list. Yeah,
Bangers.
so
yeah,
without a
crazy.
doubt.
6 months in.
I was just about to say that 6 months in, and I had to leave a lot of other films too that I was teetering on adding or not. But that was only the first half of the year. 6 months in, meaning we have another 6 months to go. And you know what? Perfect opportunity for us to talk about 10 films, the top 10 films that we're most excited for the rest of the year. What you got?
Yeah. We do this kind of the same thing like we just did, counting down. These are in no order, by the way. This is just like you just name them.
I was able to put mine in order.
Oh, where? Well, I guess you could put yours in. We could just do 10 up,
Yeah.
10-1, and just I go mine and you do yours, and back and forth. So, first movie on the list for me, I have to say, is Prey, the
Oh,
Predator
that is this
prequel.
year. I
Man, come out
forgot about
August 5th,
that.
and I'm pretty much a fan of Predator. Some are definitely way better than others, of course, but
Yep.
I'm just I feel like everybody's either a Predator person or an Alien person, and I've always been more along the Predator side. So yeah, Prey is, I guess, the first one at 10, I guess you could say.
Okay. My number 10 is the hierarchy of the DC universe will change. And that's Black Adam at number 10 for me. Yeah, it cracked that number 10 because of the trailer that we just got. I understand. I believe some people. It's weird. This trailer got a lot of hate, which was a little bit surprising to me. But what I saw, it got me excited, man. It really got me excited. I know some people don't like the color grading. I could definitely understand that it's acquired taste, but I feel like it fits what they're going for, which is Egypt, which is primarily has that um, color to it. So
It used to be, man.
it. So
Hierarchy of
yeah,
DC. That shit's funny as hell, man.
yes. So yeah, that's my number 10. The Rock. I just want him because it's weird to me. I'm gonna go. This is not a rant or anything, but he's the one out of three wrestlers turned actors that have a steady job that's getting big roles, and he got there before both Batista and John Cena. But Batista and John Cena, to me, their acting wise, they've had more to do. John Cena, I've seen emotional aspects from him, from the Suicide Squad, from um, Peacemaker, the show, and stuff like that. Even his comedic turns and stuff like that. Batista,
Mhm.
he's in Blade Runner 2049. He's the lead in Army of Dead. Like I feel
Doom.
like, oh yeah, he and Dune is damn. How did I forget that? So I felt like they test themselves, and they're a lot more than just action star, which is nothing wrong if that's the route The Rock wants to go is just straight action. It's a dying breed. Go for it. But if you're gonna have scenes like your son, what is it, sacrifice himself, and as far like that, and you're putting emphasis on that. I need that emotional side for me to really believe that, and I'm hoping there's a little more than just The Rock in there. But yeah, that's my number 9, Black Adam.
I guess next, to piggyback it, off you, Black Adam too. Um,
Okay.
Everything you said, everything, I was already pretty on board just because, seeing the JSA involved. I thought that's a really nice,
Mm,
cool flavor
yep.
to add to the
Dr.
DCU. I think
Fate.
Hawkman, yeah, Dark Fate's costume is ridiculous. I love Hawkman's outfit with the gold and the red.
Yep.
And it just, everything you said, like from what I've seen from the trailer, it looks like The Rock is actually trying. He may not try the whole time, but I know he's gonna try at least sometime in the movie. And it just looks like a nice big spectacle of a film. Like yeah, it just looks like one of those superpower, slugfest, like reminiscent of like Man of Steel or something like that. So yeah, I'm excited to see that. And that's my number 9.
Yeah. The way I see it, man, if Gal Gadot could get steady roles left and right, The Rock could do it as well. So hey, more power. And my number 9, which I know is nowhere, and I mean nowhere near your list, it's Thor: Love and Thunder. And yeah, I've been saying that I'm a fan of this one. I'm excited. I got my tickets already the minute they drop. I'll be there with my Fat Thor costume on because I gained some power. It's what it is. But But what really got me excited has absolutely nothing to do with what we've seen so far, which is cool, like Jane, Fire, etc. But what got me excited is the fact that they were able to get Christian Bell, and it's
Oh
not
yeah.
just that they were able to get Christian Bell. They were able to get Christian Bell after he swore off comic book movies after the Dark Knight trilogy. So he obviously saw something that piqued his interest to the point that he's like, okay, I'm gonna jump in this MCU film because if you look at his own choices, almost every film choice is Oscar bait, Oscar bait, Oscar bait, Oscar bait, and then you see this one, complete 180 to Thor: Love and Thunder. Something's hidden there, and especially seeing they waited so long for us to see the trailer. Like they dropped it, like the movie's coming out in a couple weeks, and the trailer just came out what 2 weeks ago, or like they have something under their sleeves that they're not showing, and supposedly this means absolutely nothing to me, but I'm gonna throw it out there. But um, the God Eater, which is Christian Bale's character, is supposedly one of the best villains ever that people are
I
saying.
will
But
see.
yeah, we'll see. But yeah, that's my
Yes,
number
I
nine.
will see that. You mean number eight?
Love and no, that's number nine for me.
Oh yeah, I went first, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Um, no, I'm anticipating it. You know, because to me, I like seeing Jane in the store. I thought that was cool
That
when
was
they
fire.
showed her in that first teaser with that helmet. I was like, oh shit, okay, this
Yo.
is pretty dope. So I got my tickets too. You know what I mean? And again,
Okay.
like you said, Christian Bale was a big seller. I'm like, just one Christian Bale. I mean, does he do bad movies? Like,
Yo,
I mean,
for
like,
real.
you know what I'm saying? He don't do
Yeah,
he
that's a
does
good.
nothing that's you know
That's
what
a
I'm saying?
good
Think about
point.
it. He doesn't do bad movies. So if he agreed to it, I'm just kind of like, it might, like you said, there might be something here. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm anticipating it. It's just not in my top 10. Next on my list, I think it's number 8 is Insidious 5. Um,
That's this year.
Supposedly,
Oh shit! I didn't know that.
later this year, it hasn't been announced yet. It's already been shot. If I'm not, it's been shot in this, in
Mm.
post. So, big fan of Insidious, and I also want to see it because it's Patrick Wilson's directorial debut,
Yep.
which Patrick, my guy, man, I like that dude. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna always I want to see what he can do because he's been in mad movies. So I want to see what it takes away from it, and for him to step into this Insidious uh, pool. And I'm pretty, James Wan being the producer to be there to help him out a little bit. I'm like, I'm down with that. So we'll see. And Insidious, honestly, there's not one in that series that I don't really like that I
Mm.
can't. Like I
That
think
first
all
one,
of these.
dog. Sheesh.
Oh, that first one is untouchable, but the rest of them they still okay.
Mm.
So yeah, that's number 8.
Okay. And my number eight is yep. So my number eight is Bullet Train. I'm not sure if you saw the trailers for that. It's with
Oh,
Brad
it looks
Pitt.
dope.
Yeah,
Actually.
that's what sold me is that it feels like a Guy Ritchie s
It does.
film. I
It does.
love
Yeah.
that vibe. Like Guy Ritchie's one of my favorite working directors right now, and Brad Pitt to me he gets love, but he gets love as more as I feel like as a supporting character, and I love when he leads because to me he's one of the greatest talents of this generation. It just here it seems like he's just cutting loose, like he's going off, and trailer looks fire to me. I'm excited for this, and yeah, that's my number eight, Bullet Train. It gives me what is it, Scott Pilgrim vibes as well too.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
Hmm.
I'm gonna see that when it come out.
Yeah.
Next on my list is Jeepers Creepers Reborn,
So you
and
still
this
got
is
hope for them.
you say what?
You still got hope for that franchise.
No, I just um, I'm just Jeepers. With the first one be one of my favorite movies of all time. I'm gonna check it out, and with them saying this is kind of like a a retelling of the story, I'm like, okay, I wonder how they're gonna do it because it's a bit of intrigue because Jeepers the first two. I'm not mentioning that third bullshit one, but so
Mm-hmm.
in the first two, we never really get a reason why Jeepers exists. Where he came from.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, we just know he comes every 27 years to eat. We don't know anything else. So I'm hoping that they can, craft some type of backstory. I think that'd be fun, with a character like that because there's so much you can do. And yeah, I think it'd be just a completely different director, writer, all that stuff. So I'm anticipating that. That's number 7 for me.
All right. So my number seven is I love this franchise. Love the first one, love the second one, and this is Creed 3. Yeah, Jonathan Majors is you look shocked. What happened?
Is that this year though?
Yeah, this year, November, I think. Oh, it was one of the dates. Yeah, Creed 3
Really?
comes out. Yeah, it's towards the end of the year. And yeah, Jonathan
Uh,
Major is playing his opponent this time. Michael B. Jordan is actually directing his first directing gig as well. So I'm excited. And the first two films were fire. Like I love this franchise, and this is one of the franchise that motivates me, dog. Like
oh yeah.
I don't know, like it just motivates me. Not just obviously not to hit the gym, which yeah, that's not why it motivates me, but just seeing where Michael B. Jordan coming from, and seeing his character is extremely relatable to me for some odd reason. I haven't pinpointed it yet, but yeah, I'm extremely excited for this one.
See, that would have been on my list.
So,
I didn't know that was coming out this year.
mhm. Yeah, I did
Should,
I went on the website that had all the movies coming out this year, and it was in like November or one of them.
mm. I didn't know because shit get pushed back here and so. But shoot,
Yeah,
when the last time you watched Creed 2?
when it came out in theaters,
Well, I'm gonna tell you right
I own
now.
it too.
Rewatch it recently, and I guarantee you, with I guarantee you, it'll hit you harder now than it did back then. That's all I'm
Wait,
saying.
I think I okay, okay. I got you. I
Yeah,
think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, okay.
yeah. Because I'm
Sheesh.
telling you, when I saw it back then, I mean, shit
Um,
had me. That shit had me like, oh my god, in my feelings, yo,
right.
straight up. So let me see what else. Next on my list, what is this? Number six? Is that six?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, number six is a little indie movie, horror film that I'm pretty sure no one ever saw. It's the first one, but The Terrifier 2. Um,
Never even
this is
heard
a
of it.
Halloween film. It's a Halloween film. It's about a slasher. About the killer's name is Artie, and he's like a mime, so he doesn't talk. Um,
Mm,
and he's in black and white. In the first movie, it's a great Halloween joint slasher, and it is extremely violent. It is, and I'm saying extremely because if you're not used to horror and gore, this one might not be for you. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
mm,
There's one kill in particular that is so over the top that you might, you're not a horror person, you might be appalled. But um, the first one, I really dug it because it's an indie movie. You could tell it was on a shoestring budget, but it was done really, really well. Shot really well. It's colored well, and it takes place in this little town in New York, and it's on Halloween night, and it just has great Halloween energy. And I saw it for Terrifier 2. It got crowdfunding, and it's been shootings for like for the past 2 years, and they were able to get a whole bunch of money. And I just
sheesh.
feel
Two
like,
years.
yeah, because they were trying to COVID threw a wrench in it, and
Mm,
I need more bread to shoot it better. I'm just really excited to see what he does with this movie with a bigger budget. So yeah, Terrifier 2,
okay.
number six.
All right. And yeah, my number six goes no explanation needed, and it's Nope, bro. It's Nope. I'm beyond excited. Nope. Yeah, beyond excited to see it. I stayed away from the latest trailer because I heard it like gives you more of the story or something of that nature. So
It does.
I
Yeah.
yeah, I'm good. I stay completely away from it. I was hooked. I was actually hooked from the premise of it when I first heard of it, and I saw that first teaser trailer, which was insane. And Jordan Peele, he has a particular way of doing it. His stories are not straightforward. You feel me?
No.
There's always like multi layers to it. So I can't wait to see exactly what this is about. And Daniel Kaluuya, one of my favorite working actors to
Your
date.
brother?
I knew he was gonna say some shit. One of my favorite working actors to date. Yeah, so extremely excited for that one. So yeah, nope.
No. All right. Number. I gotta shout out my wife, man. She's working right now. She just texted me she loves me, and I love you. You know, if you did clock, and I had to tell her that.
Damn, this late?
Yeah, she works at night.
Sheesh. More
Yeah,
power to
so
her. Shout out to
yeah,
Mrs. Rap Nerd.
oh, yeah, my beautiful lady been together since 2006, yo.
Sheesh. I was still in high school back then.
Oh yeah,
Crazy.
we go back, you know. But that's
Man.
my heart though. So love her. Next on the list is Black Phone, and luckily I get to see this tomorrow. So um, yeah, you know, Scott Dickerson and Ethan Hawke back. I mean, the last joint they did together,
Sinister.
Stranger Sinister, man. Ooh, one of the
Ooh.
best modern day horror movies ever, like period.
Love that thing. Yep.
Yeah, so to see them back and then it's taking place back in the 70s, you know, I'm over the moon. Like the trailers are out there, we've seen it. So I'm just super excited to see them all. So that's at number 5.
Yeah. I'm pissed because I was supposed to watch it. But situations. Anyways, yeah. I kept it off my list because it's like right here, like you're watching it tomorrow and stuff like that. So I wanted to keep my most spit a little distant because it's right around the corner and stuff like that. But my number 5 is called The Killer. It's featuring Michael Fassbender. Tilda Swinton is also in it. She was the Ancient One in the first Doctor
Mhm.
Strange film. And why it's number 1 for me, it's being directed by David Fincher, one of the
What?
goats. Yes, one of the goats. Let me read the premise for you, bro. If you think that's wild, whew, you haven't heard of this, have you?
No.
Yeah, man. Hold on. Let me read the. All right. So it's about an assassin who begins to psychologically crack as he develops a conscience, even as his clients continue to demand his skills, bro. Tell me that don't sound the same with David Fincher. Um, tell me that. Tell me that doesn't sound the same with David Fincher and Michael Fassbender. Michael Fassbender as the assassin, bro. Come on, dog. That's exactly, bro. So that's my number 5, The Killer.
When does that come out?
It's one of the ones that says 2022, so it doesn't have an exact date yet. But they're saying it's coming out this year.
God
It was in,
damn.
yeah, it was in my most anticipated of last. Like I had it for this year, so I can't wait, dog. David Fincher, he's like picky when he comes out to direct, but when he does, bro, that boy don't. He barely misses. Yeah,
Yo,
dog.
wait a
I
minute.
read
I gotta.
that.
I need to put this in my. I need to put this in my calendar, man. Because a lot of people don't know this, but Seven is literally one of my favorite movies ever. Like,
Oh my god.
I, I mean, and it's just funny, and I think and that's probably a big reason why I like the Batman so much because it
Mm,
feels like Seven, like it has the same kind of energy to it. Because I remember
it does.
the first time I watched Seven, I was always like, this movie reminds me of like Gotham City, like.
Mm,
The,
okay.
the, 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 the raining all the time. It's so dark and dreary. The terrible crime. A dude doing this sadistic shit. I'm like, it seems like something a Batman villain would do. I always thought that before seeing it. So with the Batman kind of taking inspiration from that, it's what makes me love it. So Seven is definitely in like my top. I mean, shit, 25 movies ever. So to hear Fincher do some shit like that, you
Exactly.
can count me. You can count me in. I did not know that. Shit, mind blown right now. Number 4 on my list is Nope.
Mm-hmm.
It's Jordan, man, and
Yep.
I just love the whole premise of this movie. Jordan dealing with aliens, the acronym supposedly being not of planet Earth, and it's just so
That's dope. I like
fire,
that.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's just everything about the movie is so straightforward that you just know it's not going to be shit like what they're selling it as, and that's what makes me so intrigued about it. Because, like you said, um, the second trailer did give more away, but with it being Jordan Peele, it just makes me question everything even more.
That is true. That is true.
Because there's going to be a twist here, and I'm like, they're giving up a lot of information. Like, this is not going to be what we think it is. Like, it's going to be completely different. So, I mean, I pray I can get early screening tickets to that shit, because oh my god, like, looks fantastic. So that's my number. Was that 4?
Yeah, number 4.
Yeah, number 4. Yeah.
Yep. The wife said, "What's in the box?" Yo, that has to be one of. What happened?
See, like, so I need to meet you, because I feel like
Bro, you guys will hit
like,
it off.
I'll never forget when you told me when we had that battle of Winter Soldier versus Batman vs Superman, and you told her where you going. And you tell her that you thought Civil War was better, and you said that she said, "Really? That's what we're doing?" So,
word. She looked at me like I was crazy.
So I wish I could give her like a visual dap right now. You know what I mean?
Like, yeah, I know she's enjoying this shit right now. That's funny. But my number 4 is a film called Don't Worry, Darling.
Oh yeah, I saw the trailer for that.
Yeah. Okay. So I wasn't sure if you've seen it or not. Olivia Wilde, her second film that she directed. She did Booksmart, which is amazing coming to age story for. I think it came out 2018.
Did she get served papers when she was directing?
Dog, you heard about that?
There's footage of that. Did you not see it?
Yeah, man, I'm saying that's crazy. Right on stage. Anyways, god damn, that's wild. But yeah, I read the premise of it. It's pretty much a 1950s housewife is living with her husband in an experimental community that begins, and she begins to worry because the glamorous company seems to be hiding a very dark secret. And it's weird because I read that and then I saw the trailer. I'm like, is this the same like film? Like the trailer seemed like extremely out there. It seemed trippy. Like I didn't know what the hell was going on, but I was sold because this cast is ridiculous, dog. Florence Pugh, Chris Pine, Gemma Chan. Who else? I guess Harry Styles. So yeah, but yeah, Olivia Wilde coming back. Like I said, like I'm pretty sure she'll be 2 for 2. So that's my number 4.
Oh.
And what's his name? Shia LaBeouf was supposed to be Harry Styles' character, but Shia LaBeouf's unpredictable. He did some wild stuff and he got kicked out.
Dang, he would have
been fired.
He would have been fired for that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so number 3 is a film called Dark Harvest.
Why does that sound familiar?
I don't know. Nobody probably knows what the hell this is. So I'm just going to read a small synopsis, a few sentences, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every fall in a small Midwestern town, a supernatural specter rises from the cornfields and makes his way towards the town's church, where violent gangs of teenage boys hungrily await their chance to confront the legendary nightmare at an annual harvest rite of life and death called the Run.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, so I read that. I was
Creepers
like,
vibes for some reason.
Yeah, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, what is? You know what I mean? Like, this is interesting, and I think it's who's making the movie? What is it? Metro Golden and Mayer.
Okay.
It's being made by them, so they're partially making it. So that means it's going to be a pretty big budget movie. It's not going to be something some small scope. MGM. I'm sitting there saying, why did I not just say MGM? But it's being made by them. So
but I know who you're talking about though.
Yeah, I don't know why. That's the first time I ever actually like read it all out. But yeah, that piqued my interest, and I'm a fall baby. Fall is just that's my favorite season. So I'm all for fall centered films, especially
Mhm.
horror. So like yeah, that's my number 3 spot.
All right. And my number three spot, man, it's a film called Disappointment Boulevard. It's
I
a
heard about that.
Ari Aster, which made one of my favorite horror films of all time with Hereditary.
Hmm.
And you know who's starring in that film?
Joaquin
Disappointment Boulevard.
Phoenix.
Woo! I saw them two together. That's all I needed to know. That's all I needed to know. Supposedly, it follows decades spanning portrayal of a director not knowing how to finalize editing one of the most successful films of all time. So it's dealing with. So it's a director shooting a film about a director not knowing how to edit a film. And you know what's crazy? Supposedly this film is like over 3 hours long, and the studio is trying to
Really?
get him to edit and try to get him to edit down like this poetic justice. But what I like about this though is the genre comedy horror, and
Hmm.
you have Phoenix involved in that. Okay, something special there. So yeah, that's my number three spot.
Yeah, that was on my list too. It's funny because a lot of stuff that's on your top is in
Hmm.
my anticipated list. But I'm the horror guy, so you already know. Ain't none of this shit surprising.
Of course.
All right, so number 2 on my most anticipated list is the Salem's Lot remake.
Mm.
Now, have you seen the first Salem's Lot?
Yeah, bro, I barely remember that thing.
One of the most terrifying movies ever.
Mm.
Like literally, I need to talk about it more. I don't talk about it enough, but it's literally
Mm.
one of the most terrifying movies ever. It's about a vampire coming to this small city in New England, and he's pretty much just turning the town to vampires. But the way it's just done is like there's something about 70s horror movies that the practicality of them just makes them that much more terrifying.
Mm.
And this and it's definitely a very what's the word? It's definitely playing a chance card with this movie because it could one be fucking terrible,
Mm.
being a remake because we know remakes can either be meh or terrible, which a movie
Pet
like this
Cemetery.
being yeah exactly perfect example. Like perfect example. The first one is so fantastic that when you hear the idea of a remake, you're like, "Ooh, this could be super fire," but
Yep.
this could be, you know what I mean? So, and this one in particular, I'm leaning more towards like the fact that if it could be fire, because if they get this shit right, this could be easily one of the best remakes ever and
Mhm.
terrifying, like Evil Dead status, like remake, and it could be
Mhm.
on that level if they get it right. Because I'm telling you, that '70s one is terrifying. Oh my god, whew, like
Mhm.
like so just the fact of basing it off of the old one, and what they could do, I'm excited to see it, and I hope that they knock it out the park. Honestly, like so
Yep.
yeah, that's number 2 for me.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully, they did do good, but
And it's made
what's
by I guess another thing about it that made me be like, okay, it could be like that. It's made the studios involved are Warner Brothers, New Line
yep.
Cinema, Vertigo, and Atomic Monster, all of which
Hmm.
have cranked out. You know this, so having that kind
Yep.
of backing has me excited about it too. Like if it was by some indie company, I don't know. Like I really don't know, but because I think indie horror works best when it's original than trying to do something already done.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's number 2 for me.
All right. So my number two, which I'm surprised is number two and not number one. It's number two because the date it keeps getting pushed and stuff like that. So I don't know, but as of right now, they're saying it's still coming out this year. But it's a movie called Killers of the Flower Moon, and it's a Martin Scorsese movie. Not just that, with Leo and Robert De Niro. Come on now, Leonardo and come on. Whew. So yeah, I saw that, and it's pretty much about members of a tribe in the United States are murdered under mysterious circumstances in the 1920s, sparking a major FBI investigation involving J. Edgar Hoover. That sounds wild. That sounds
Yeah.
wild. And yeah, supposedly Leo's playing a wild character in this one. So yeah, I'm excited for it. I hope it still comes out this year. But you have one of my favorite directors of all time with one of my favorite actors of all time. What's not to get excited? And yeah, that's my
Cinema.
number two. Literally, last time they did a film together, Wolf of Wall Street, Insanity, Insanity,
One of the best movies ever.
easily. That's my number two. Bro, that scene when he when he took the, I forgot what he took. He thought he was driving on normal and stuff, and then you see the aftermath that he was. Oh my god, crazy.
They want us to go. I'm not fucking going. That movie's crazy. Huh?
Yes, it is.
Like, what the man said? The phone was ringing. Hey, pick up the cocksucking phone. Like, nobody says that, man. Like,
Oh
what?
my god.
But I mean, number one, I mean, you probably can guess what that is, right?
Mm,
Halloween Ends, you know.
yeah, that's no surprise. To no
Yeah,
surprise.
Well, Mike Myers is my guy, you know. So what can I say? You know, I know a lot of people hated Halloween Kills, but I'm not one of them. So yeah,
Definitely got to respect that.
yeah, I'm ready to see this teaser, and yeah, that's number one for me.
So yeah, believe it or not, though, I am excited to see it because I'm a huge. I love the first Halloween, 2018. Yeah, I think we talked about it like before. I guess you, because at first you wasn't a fan of it because you didn't see what direction they were going, and I guess Halloween Kills was a great
What
addition
I didn't
to.
dislike it. I didn't
Mhm,
dislike it. I was just kind of like more just so like in the middle with it in a sense, but I
mhm.
didn't dislike it. I'll say that.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm excited for that one. But my number one film is a movie. Well, anticipated film of 2022 is a film called Babylon, and it's being directed by Damien Chazelle, who is god tier director. Whiplash, 10 Clover. No, he didn't do it. Whiplash, First Man, La La Land, etc. Like he's ridiculous, and he's so young too, which that's inspirational. But the cast is stupid. Brad Pitt, um, Margot Robbie, like come on now. Samana Weaving, which people say looks exactly like she's from Ready or Not, the main girl from Ready or Not.
Oh yeah.
She's in it. Yeah, they say that looks like
Oh
Margot
wow.
Robbie, right?
They paired them. Oh okay.
Exactly what I said. So yeah, and it's pretty much it's set in Hollywood during the transition from silent films to talkies, and it's focusing on a mixture of historical and fictional characters. Very vague as far as description goes, because I don't know if it's done filming, but it's gonna be Oscar intention type film, and you know me, I love my Oscar bait films, bro, and the cast is wild. The director is he's one of my favorite working today, bro. So I have a feeling this film is we in for something special with this one right here. So yeah, Babylon is my number one film. Do you want to run 3 or 10 just in case, or you think we good?
That's gonna be good. We don't
We
need it,
good.
you know,
All right. Well,
because they're
no,
anticipated. So you know.
exactly, man. This was absolutely blast of
Oh, for
episode.
sure.
Yeah, two lists took us well over 2 hours long, and everybody that was participating, thank you. Had a blast like always. And
Yes.
one more.
Yes.
There's one question for you that Henry said he Sid Rapner, what's in the box under the Batman logo?
What's in the box? You talking about the lunchbox?
No, I'm thinking right next to it under the
Right here?
Batman logo. Yeah.
Oh, the movies. Let's see. What's in here? My daughter done moved something. So I guess a little story time. I got movies downstairs, and I have movies. The movies that I have up here are just like a bunch of old DVDs that I bought. So first in here, Terminator Salvation.
Okay.
Peep this. Look at this. That joint says Blockbuster. Look at that.
Stop. Sheesh.
Because when Blockbuster was closing down, right? Worldwide, it was like closing all stores. They were selling DVDs for like mad cheap. This was like 2010. So I was going around swiping up all the DVDs, like, yo, let me get that. Let me get that. And this shit says, and this joint didn't cost $9.99. This shit was like $3. So, I got this ridiculousness.
Of course you do. God damn, bro.
I got I'm pretty sure everybody has this joint from Walmart. Yeah. The Blade.
Oh, you even got Sticky Fingers?
I ain't even watched that shit.
That's funny.
Never seen it.
Me neither.
Men in Black.
Classic. Absolute classic.
Lakeview Terrace.
Oh, that's my joint.
Me too. I love that shit.
That's my joint. Yo, Sam a wild dude, bro. God.
You and your little chocolate drop. You're disrespectful as hell, man.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Casino Royale.
Oh man.
One of the scariest movies that doesn't get talked about enough. And it's PG-13, which is nuts to me.
Of Emily, yeah. I couldn't finish it, bro. I could not finish it.
What, too much?
Yep, you're damn Skippy. I told you I never watched The Exorcist, right?
Don't watch that movie. That's a
right.
movie that I would never watch to this day.
God damn.
I watched it one time, never again. And last but not least,
of course. Yeah, how many copies of that you got?
Just 2.
Just 2, okay.
Yeah, I bought this a while ago. This was before, because for some reason, man, I was like late to the Blu-ray party for whatever reason. I was broke. That's why. So it was just like,
shit. Now you can go to 4K because they got Blu-rays in there as well.
Yeah. So that's what's in the box. My man.
And Phil from Let's Talk Podcast says, "Surprise! Avatar 2 isn't on any of your lists." It's yeah. It's been 12 years or 13 years since the original came out. So I'm a wait and see thing. I don't know how good it's actually gonna be, but of course I'm gonna check it out. Yeah, I'm a little anticipated for it, so we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I wasn't hot on the first one. Like, I mean, I don't think it was bad, but I wasn't blown away as the world was.
I was blown away, but I've only seen it that one time, and I haven't watched it. I haven't had this urge to go and watch it again. Like I'm not one of the people that just hate on the Avatar just to hate, because I see a lot of those out there, which is weird to me. But hey, and Henry also says, "Do me and you have Terminator 2? One of the GOATs. Love Terminator 2
for sure.
Yeah, it's somewhere over there, but yeah, that's without a doubt, bro. Without a doubt.
Terminator 2 is better than the first one, in my opinion.
Easily, without a doubt.
Without a doubt.
And what Ratner? What movie again with Samuel L. Jackson? That's Lakeview Terrace.
Lakeview Terrace. Yeah, Lakeview Terrace. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a fun little yeah. Early 2000. Is it late 2000? No, early 2000. When that come out?
Mid 2000, like 2008, 9. When did
it? Yeah. It's a fun little movie, bro. Sam Jackson is a wild dude. So yeah,
that's one my wife like it's like when we watched that a lot. Just like a sleep movie. Like that's one of them.
Yeah, me and my wife, we popped that in too as well to check out. But episode number 33. is in the books, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everybody who popped in to watch had a blast. And let's see, anybody else got anything to say before we head out? I got Terminator 2 VHS somewhere in the house. VHS.
Oh, that's
Jesus.
fire. That's
Yo,
fire.
for real. Wow, that's dope. That's dope, Phil. But before I leave, I've been meaning to say that since last podcast, but it's been like 3 weeks since we've been on. I gotta give a huge big shout out to my wife who just graduated college, dog. With
Oh,
a
that's dope. Fire.
ridiculously high GPA. These years I saw the work that she put in, bro. It was not easy, especially with everything going on, or like moving from another state to another state, like, and our situation as far as other stuff goes. So yeah, I gotta give her a big ass shout out, yo. She's easily my biggest inspiration in my life. So easily,
I mean, hey, I say the same about my wife, man. I tell her that all the time. I'm like, you inspire me to do everything at such a high level because I see what you do, being,
Mm-hmm.
being a wife, a mom, and still being able to maintain and be yourself and go after your goals.
Yes,
Big stuff
that part right there, bro.
Yeah, like so. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
she's
definitely dig in. And congratulations to your wife. She watching. Congratulations. That's some cool shit.
yeah, bro. Like, and she didn't. And hold on. Let me toot her on a little bit. The school that she went to is not like your normal school. It's a school that has a 71 or 70% dropout rate, bro. So 70 or 71 of people that attended usually drop out, and she not only graduated but with very very high honors. Proud of you, baby. So yeah, gotta shout her out.
That's dope. That's
And
dope, man.
speaking of her, she said, great episode, guys. Always a blast. Of course, that's my brother from another. It's crazy how social media brought us two together, bro. And like I known you my whole life, dog. So another blast
Bro,
in there.
I be telling people, like, when people be like, social media is worst shit ever. I'm like, I mean, if you allow it to be that,
Yep.
But I'm like, I met this man right here over social media in 2020. Was it 2020?
Crazy. Yep, 20, like end of 2019, early 2020. Like,
Yeah, because I remember,
yeah.
and I've had people who know me watch the show, well, listen to the show. When we first was doing the podcast, they was like, "Yo, did you like grow up with son?" Or
That's crazy.
Do you know? I'm like, bro, I met him like a year ago.
That's wild.
But like I said, I think my ideology of what it means to be a person has changed over, like, growing up pretty much. I always used to think it was like, oh, your best friends be the people you grew up with, but like the older and wiser I've gotten, I'm like, shit, man, like, not me. You know what I mean? Like,
100%.
because y'all don't even realize, bro, like that these long periods of time between podcasts, like me and this man chatted up all the time. Like,
all the time.
We be having to kind of hold back sometimes talking about shit because we be like, yo, should we say that for the pod, yo? Like,
yep.
Like,
every single time we're on the phone, that happens without fail. Every single time.
Like, it'll start out with me just calling, like, yo, what's good? How your family? What's like, shit's crazy. It's hot as hell down here. What's like there? And it'll start with that, and then just eventually slide into something like, yo, did you, 2000s horror movies was fire, dog. What's your favorite joint? Blah blah blah. I mean, like, yo, should we say this? It's like, yeah, whatever. We'll talk about it again if we got to. So.
For sure. Yeah, man.
Random story time. I know, but
it's always fun to have one of these here and there. But yeah, like I said, man, pleasure. Always doing these, and not sure when we're gonna be up here because damn, I don't know what's coming out. I don't know if you want to do anything for Thor, Love and Thunder, or anything like that.
Oh yeah, for sure. We definitely doing that. We gotta do that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and also Stranger Things Part 2 as well, so you could see us for. I don't know if I think they're coming around the same time actually, so that should be interesting. Yeah. Okay. So for sure. And before we head off, the wife said, "Thank you to you, Rap Nerd, like always."
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Until next time. Oh, what am I doing? Before we head out, let everybody know where they can find you.
Oh, well, right up there. Rap Nerd JSO, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Type that in on any of them platforms, you'll find me, man. So yeah.
Yep. And Film Fiends, every single social media platform that you can find, and obviously on here on YouTube as well. You can find me, and definitely find Rap Nerd on YouTube as well. Like, we're cranking out video left and right. He just dropped a review for Watcher, which you had me dying. He called it what do you call it, the epitome of mid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Like
was
my
funny.
man
So
P, he said it just and said he hated it, and it was probably one
mhm.
of the worst things he's seen. And I definitely can see why he said that about this movie. Like,
So I'm definitely gonna wait for it to get on streaming or something. I'm not gonna waste time to go on theater for that.
no, hell no, no,
Yeah,
it definitely ain't. What makes it
yeah.
frustrating in my review, like I said, like it has the potential to be great, but it's just
Those are the worst type of movies in my opinion. But
bad as
yeah,
hell.
shit. What in your minds? I'll send y'all. Would you mind? I'll send y'all movies. Shit. Hit us up, Henry. You got us both on Twitter. Hit us up, man. Whenever.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, we always chop it up with you, bro. Always. Thank you for showing up
for
again,
sure.
Henry. And yeah, like I
Yeah, that
said, you
man
can
be
find
there
me.
all the time. So shout out to him for
Exactly,
real.
bro. Henry, a real one, bro. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once again, Film Fiends everywhere. YouTube, definitely hit us both our channels up. And until next time, I'm the Film Fiend, and I am out.
Peace.